Welcome to Waiting for Game, podcast presented by Melee Stats. I am your host, Gimme That Wheat. A little redder than usual this week. I don't know if it's shown up on camera, but a little sunburn this week. And my good friend Edwin Budding, doubt he had that problem. Edwin, how you doing? Did you leave the house this weekend?
No, I stayed in and watched Smash Camp. In fact, I was the only person and am the only person on this show, including
our producer,
JD behind the camera, to not go to Smash Camp. And after seeing the weekend and the amount of fun everybody seemed to be having, I definitely regret it, and I'm very jealous of everyone else on this show.
And of course, the lovely people who put on Smash Camp 2022. We've got three-time guest. Well, I don't even know what he's at this point, but we've got the three-time. Of course, a little bit of breathing room before you hit 5, and we got to get you a jacket. But yeah, the three-time guest. We got Mikey. We got the cheat. What is going on?
I cannot wait until I win the Melee Stats Masters. It's going to be a great day.
What are the other occasions?
It's not really that cheap to produce custom jackets, so we're keeping everyone at 4 right now. We've got we're like Aiden right now cannot be on another podcast. Maybe we should have waited until he got super big, but hey, we've got a first time guest here. We got someone we can afford to use a couple freebies.
Wait, what were the other times for Mikey?
He was on earlier to talk about your summit run, your summit campaign.
Damn, I didn't get invited.
And then
that's rough.
Actually.
That's rough.
You went straight to me.
No.
We had a good reason. I don't remember. Edwin, do you remember what it was?
No, I don't.
I'm more handsome. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll leave it there.
Yeah, that's probably it. And then we had you on
Deep Dives.
You were on way back when on Deep Dives. I forget the occasion.
I think it was after Smash Camp 2019, the snow one.
No, you know what the reason we wouldn't have had him on was? It was travel. You're traveling to the event.
Yeah, I was in the hotel the night after I got there for Summit. So.
This is actually. I think I remember this.
Yeah.
See, it's not because we were scared that you didn't like us. That couldn't have been it.
Well, after the Smash or the Axe secondary debacle of Smash Camp end of summer, who knows? It was up in the air.
I think we had a very nice, peaceful Smash Camp 2022. No debacles as to top players entering and saying it shouldn't count. I think everyone had a pretty good time. But yeah, let's get into it. So Smash Camp 22 comes around. I would say, I want to hear your opinions on it as people who run the tournament, but it's kind of finding its little niche as something that is a lot of good players are going and not entering. I think it's something where Smash Camp End of Summer, that was the thing where everyone tried to go, right? Wasn't that like every single person tried to enter after registration ended?
It was a lot, yeah. We ended up having, I think, 5 of the top 10 players at the time at that tournament.
Insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I would like to hear the difference in like just vibe and general feeling, because this one it was a regional, right? You had really good players. Quidorian and SFED are both top 10 players right now. And, you've got Face Roll Fiction. It's like the whole top 8 is all really good. But it definitely feels more like a stacked regional where you have like a ton of people who are just there to have fun. And I want to was that always the feeling for Smash Camp? Because this is the 3rd, I believe?
Fourth.
Yeah. Oh my god.
There was 2 in 1 year.
Oh yeah. And then what was the first one? The Army Axe one?
That was the second.
Oh, that's the second. Who was the first?
First one was remember Axe. It was John Wick Axe in winners finals.
And then Ty beat him in losers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then Axe with his Falco won the tournament.
That rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really just a Smash Camp classic.
Yeah, I think it was a weird time in the lead up to the Smash Camp, because I feel like for the 3rd Smash Camp, for Smash Camp End of Summer, we were really hungry, right? The second one was the one where we started to get like a lot of out of state people coming. It was kind of one of those regionally stacked things where we had like a good number of top 100 players, but didn't have any gods or anything like that. So we were like, all right, we're going to promote this super hard. It's going to be this whole thing where we're going to, kind of go all out for it. And we ended up capping. But when we capped for that one, it was after like a couple of, at least like a month of registration. This time we dropped and it capped in 10 minutes. And
Insane.
so there's this whole period of time in which we don't really have anything to promote. Like, we're just sitting here with this completely full tournament, and we're like, all right, I mean, we'll save some spots for top players if they want to come. And then in the interim, I ran main stage and Smash Summit 12 and Ultimate Summit 4.
Nice.
And so, like, by the time Smash Camp rolls around, it's like, oh, like, it's like 2 weeks beforehand. None of the top players have really hit us back yet on anything. And so it's like, all right, I guess we'll just rip it with this and see how it goes. I also think one thing that happened with this tournament is that a lot of people registered back in November, forgot about it, and then, a couple weeks before the tournament, started looking at flights, and a little, some shit's going down in the world. So flights are super expensive. And they were like, fuck, I just can't do it right now. So got some unfortunate circumstances in there. But I think, I think Smash Camp doesn't really need that necessarily to be like the experience that we want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing that I think it was I think I was talking to Connor about this, and they mentioned that, like, Smash Camp is in this place where it's kind of a pain in the ass to get to a little bit. It's 2 hours away from the airport. And, to sign up, you kind of have to, it's like waiting for a Yeezy shoe drop.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta fucking click the button fast enough or else you're fucked. And so that makes it that if you want to go to Smash Camp, you have to really fucking want to go to Smash Camp, And I feel like that, in a way, is a good thing. Like, I wish more people could experience it. I'm sad for the people who want to come and don't get to. But it also means, like, maybe it's a better environment if it's not, everyone and their mom comes to the tournament. If everyone there is really enthusiastic about being there, I think that's kind of cool in a way. So, it wasn't people were calling it a major on the internet. I think they're smoking weed. I think we just forgot what a regional looks like. It's okay to be a regional. It's great.
Yeah, there has been this little, like, regionals just don't exist anymore. But this is a very fun. I really liked it. Edwin, I know you're someone who says you really wanted to go, and I want to just piggyback off what Mikey said there. Yeah, man, you kept talking about how you're like, oh, I gotta do it. I should have went. Dude, it's like, imagine me showing up in the freshest Supreme. I've got the Supreme brick. And then you're like, bro, I should have gotten that. That's how I felt when you told me you should have gone to Smash Camp. But go on, Edwin. I know you've got your point.
Yeah, I think one of the so, like, obviously I mentioned at the beginning of the show that I didn't go, but I've been to a lot of tournaments, right? I typically know what to expect from,
we know this, yeah,
locals, regionals, majors, whatnot. I love the fact that Smash Camp is offering something that is a lot more than just being in, like, a big convention with this, like, supposed grand stage of, like, all the best players in the world there, or whatever. I almost feel like, I mean, you guys would know this better because you were there, let alone everything that you and Yingling do for the series. But, like, I think it almost creates, like, a more intimate environment, right? Like, because just like you're saying, if you really want to go, then you have to act on it, and you're going to be in a venue surrounded by people who similarly felt that passionate about being in this kind of, like, tight-knit environment, right? One of the really cool things I saw about the event, like, through the content pieces about it and through, like, all the footage I had, is that, like, everybody, like, got along, and, like, everybody had their own, like, groups that they stuck to, and I guess that, like a lot of Smash majors kind of tend to be like that. Like, you find your group of people to stick around, and you sort of, like, stick in your groups, and you're kind of in this, like, convention and general area where occasionally you'll see other people. But I feel like with Smash Camp, it's just a lot more intimate. I think it's a really cool vibe, and I think it's, like, the exact kind of vibe that I wish I had at other tournaments, right?
I
But
would,
I guess that's
yeah.
what makes it different.
Yeah, I would say that Smash Camp, like, honestly just forces you to, like, not act like you would
Yeah.
at a normal tournament. Because, like, honestly, like, one of the biggest things I would say is, like, random person forgets fucking water, and the cabin across from you has water. So then you're, like, forced to be like, hey, man, do you have water? And, like, suddenly you guys talk, and, it, like, this, there's your icebreaker right there. And suddenly these two cabins next to each other are friends all weekend. Whereas like a hotel room, like no one's knocking on the hotel door next to you
Yeah.
or something like
Mhm.
that. That's just
Yeah,
like a small example of it.
It was a cool experience. I remember, God, I think it was Jackzilla, who like someone just came up and started saying hi. He's like, "Is this what happens at tournaments still?" He's like, "I was like, I haven't been to a tournament in a while. This what happens." I'm like, "Well, no, I don't know. It's like Smash Camp. I feel like people are more willing to just like make conversation with people who they don't know who are around them. Not, I mean, I think like Smashers have a really good like entryway into making conversation, right? Because like we're all here for one reason. So if you see a stranger, you can like talk about Smash or play Smash. But I feel like what happens at Smash Camp, from my one experience there, was that it felt a little deeper. I think you're thrown into situations more where like there's so much stuff to do, where you are like in a volleyball game with someone you've never met, or you know you
On the squares.
get past some illicit drug from someone you've never met.
God, I hope the Friendly Pines people aren't watching this. Yeah, but
There's no
like
drugs at camp.
I talk about this a lot. I think about this a lot. It's like I think the reason that I like doing the stuff that I do is because I feel like being a part of a community like the Melee community really helps people a lot. I think that a lot of people nowadays, you know, it's easy to kind of like isolate yourself from shit, you know, and just be on the internet all the goddamn time, and not really have to engage with people, uh, you know, at all. So one thing that I really valued about the Smash community when I was getting into it, because you know, I started going to tournaments at ASU back in like 2014. It was a weird time. I was going to college, but I was living at home. And I went from going to a school with a graduating class of 93 to the biggest school in the country. Uh, and so that's a huge fucking culture shock, right? And I was like completely disconnected from everything. But like I like playing Melee, and so I started playing Melee there, and I found a whole bunch of people. Like fucking Nick Yingling, you know? And
Wow.
you know, one summer later, and like every day, it's just like me and Nick and the boys hanging out at our friend Alex's apartment. And that all starts from this moment where you're like with people who care about the same thing that you do. It's like the social lubricant that, you know, it's like magic, you know, it doesn't really happen anywhere else aside from places where you are, where other people are enthusiastic about the same things that you are. And, you know, at a lot of people, that's like God, right? It's like your church community is where you go to, to, to have common ground with people. And then on the other side of it, we have gamers, and that's us. And it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's like Smash Camp is just a big Smash Fest, which doesn't happen anymore. Which is why I feel like another reason people say Melee is dying, because no one hosts Smash Fest, so you're not getting like that in person interaction anymore. So everyone's like, "Oh, all we do is play online." It's like, okay, yeah, because none of you are trying to go out and have Smash Fest anymore because it is just this easy to play.
Yeah, we need locals, and we need regionals. They serve a very important purpose for us, I think.
Man, we got to get the Blur on. Talk to him about that.
Yeah, we'll fight him.
He was he heard me over, like he heard me talking to Wisely about something I found funny. He's just nodding his head the entire, or shaking his head the entire time. He's just like he's there and he doesn't want to chime in, but he's like, oh, it's just, that guy can go on forever. But no, it was
so funny. So
yeah.
I was talking to Blur, right? So there's this deal, right, where if you stream on the BTS Twitch, you got to run some ads, right? It's part of it.
This is great.
Blur, I'm talking to Blur, and he's like, viewership for this tournament is bad because you are running ad breaks, and people are leaving during the ad breaks. And I'm like, Blur, You made us have to do this when you were working at Twitch, brother. This is your fault.
Dude, people
There's
just don't watch Smash Camp because it's just not. It's more of a tournament to be at than it is to watch.
Um,
my brother in Christ. You wrote.
exactly.
You wrote.
Exactly. It's the most blur conversation.
Christ,
I think
you
I've
made the
ever
contract. Yes. No, but to kind of get back to Smash Camp, yeah, I mean it's got this, and I don't know. I'm like guy who went to Smash Camp once, talking to guy who went to Smash Camp never, Edwin, and acting like I'm the. It's like an 8-year-old talking to like a 7-year-old. So I mean, who knows? My one experience, who knows how similar it is to the other Smash Camps, but it felt cool how I was able to just so many people not feel serious, right? Like I remember being there and I was like, this is great. I might not go in the venue at all. Like the
Yeah.
day or Saturday, I think I was barely in the venue. Because at most, tournaments you go to, the venue is probably the best thing to be in. It's like if you're in a big city, maybe it's number 2 or 3, but there was like so much to do other than going to the venue here. Going to the venue was fun, but it was also pretty low on my priorities list. But you're able to have that, and at the same time, you're able to have players take this very seriously. I saw Suf. I saw him on the courts a lot. Big baller. I saw him do that and still do amazing here. Right? It's amazing to see these types of things where you're not necessarily seeing people sacrifice like the game in order to do this other stuff. There's like a way of coexisting.
Mm-hmm.
Edwin, do you think you'd be able to do that?
There's only one way to find out, right? I have to go. I have to go to the Smash
I don't
Camp.
think you're gonna make it, man.
Well, I mean, maybe the one in Oregon this October. We'll see.
What drops have you participated in?
What drops?
Yeah, like give me your pedigree as to why you think that you'd make Smash Camp.
Why can you click the button fast enough?
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm supposed to answer this.
Well, if you like pull out some Jordan 1s or something, that shut me up.
No, I don't think there's anything I could say to convince you.
You ever tried to go to like a concert before the tickets sold out really fast?
Mikey, I'm kind of a homebody.
Understandable.
All right. Well, hopefully
you need Smash
Camp.
Camp. Or God.
Yeah.
We'll give one of those top player spots to Edwin next time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he beat Zuppy, so.
Sorry, Leffen.
Oh my
God. Cancel Leffen's registration. No, it was fun. Yeah. So I guess I want to hear like, is there? I remember the Nick Yingling tweets from 2019. I remember all those Smash Camp tweets. There were a lot of tweets.
I don't have to do that no more.
You don't have to do it, which is this like a refreshing thing? Is the like whatever it is, we had what was a pretty strong regional, right? Like Kador and SFAT, Spark. We have all these really great players. If it gets to the point where there's like, no top 10 players, or if you get one and it's, like end of summer was, like, is there any expectations or is it just whatever it is?
I think we're fine with whatever. Honestly, I think we're hyped that a tournament could actually sell without having to use top players as a marketing tactic.
Yep.
Like that's so sick. We get to sell our tournament and we don't have to sell our souls to hope top players actually go. It's just people are going to come and we're going to be fine and we're not going to not have enough money to do things. We got to use extra money to do things like buy disposable cameras to give to everybody so they can take pictures and have memories at camp. And also I think some of the money also went to giving the amateur brackets prize pools. And I'm sure we could have thought of other cool stuff as well if we knew we were going to have extra money. But I think it's sick that we can do other things for participants opposed to just being like, all right, we're going to save this money for this one person that's going to come. And we're also going to use that person as a marketing tactic now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it feels like we keep falling into this conversation of like how to market your tournament. Like you would think we would have solved it by now, but no. Like, so yeah, there's always this interesting thing of Aiden when he was just a little tiny TO who was throwing majors hosted by Coca-Cola. Back then he was he loves flying people out, but I think he had this whole thing about like it's worth it for your brand to like buy, if you have money, to use that to buy good experiences for people who enter, rather than fly out, like a Mango level player. Like
Yeah.
he just said that for the tournament itself. And I think that, like, well, I mean, you did have Mango the last one, but like, despite that, yeah, I think that like the brand of Smash Camp right now is so incredibly strong because it's this thing where, yeah, you're right. Like, I mean, I didn't enter anything. We have and we had a ton of people who didn't enter anything. Like it was what I think 160 people entered a bracket, and maybe two something. What 250 altogether? How many do you know?
260. Yeah.
260. So about 100 people who did not enter Melee singles bracket at a
Yeah,
Melee
and
tournament.
P Plus was there also, which made up a good chunk of that. But there were still a considerable amount of people who went to the tournament and did not enter anything.
Or they just go in DQ.
Yeah, that happens
True.
a lot too, for sure.
True.
They're literally. It's not like they're not there. They're there. They're just like, I don't want to play today. I'd rather do something else. Like Nick Envy. He just went to go rock climb and do other stuff instead.
Went to Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
Well, like if he's having a good time, that's awesome, though, right? Like, what the KPI or like your success metric is not like, oh my god, like. Yeah, those are where my mind's at. But like the success metric is not like, all right, can we get top players and like have them play a really cool grand finals that people think like is a major, right? Like the success metric is that people have a blast at this event and they want to keep coming back, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome. I think I think it's refreshing, honestly, from other tournaments.
How is it as a spectator, Edwin? Because I know that like you saw like messages from me. You saw like there's lots of content of people just there. I'm glad that fiction video of him wrestling someone in the pit. I'm glad that found its way onto the internet, not in full. Like we still need the full video. But in some sense, I'm glad that made it out there. But like just in terms of like a stream, like a tournament, how did you feel about it?
It was fun. I like the laid back. I like the laid back environment, but still still sort of tight knit. I like seeing the. I mean, one thing I'll say. This is gonna sound like kind of randomly detailed, but one thing that I thought was cool was seeing that when even when like top 8 was happening, right? Like you could still see shots of the venue, and it was very like they're not playing in like an arena, or they're not playing in an arena or somewhere like really big like a convention center, but you see people like right behind the competitors. You see like clusters of people sitting on setups and playing and stuff. It gives it a lot more like homely of a feel.
I think through top 8 that you can see me and Blur.
Yeah, I saw both of you talking. I was wondering what you both were talking about. I assumed he brought up tennis rankings or something like that.
He did bring it up to me. He was like, he's like, "Wheat, this is how we fix it." And he also told me about how great my tag is, which I remember one time, Edwin, you tried to make fun of my tag.
I don't even remember that, but I believe
it's got the Blur backing.
Edwin's tag
trust me, you're the Blur
this weekend.
Who's Edwin?
I will say that the one thing that we haven't had happen at Smash Camp yet is a really fucking hype top 8. One that just makes you like bust out of your fucking seat. Like,
You know why? I can tell you why. You why.
No Jeff for the past 2 years.
It's because no one from Arizona ever makes it to grand finals, and so everybody doesn't care, and we all go home.
Yep.
You gotta rig the bracket next time for CPU. Give CPU give him a bunch of like.
He almost beat Fiction. He had a great bracket.
Give him a bunch of Falcos.
He's not ready quite. He needs to go to some more majors.
He's just a boy.
Yeah. Give him like Falco, Peach, and Sheik, and he'll be there.
There we go. Yeah.
All Sheiks.
But I tell you what, I love being rowdy. I love getting loud. And Smash Camp provides plenty of opportunities to do that. But I would like one time, God, please just give us a top 8 that, give me at least a match in top 8 or something that I can just fucking scream about.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. I don't need it. It's just fun. It's just great.
I think Phoenix versus Tucson Cruise gives you that.
Oh my god.
Phoenix versus Tucson Cruise. Dude, I think it's better if Phoenix has never won a crew battle, Mikey.
We're so demoralized now.
Dude,
we've done a crew battle every time that a Phoenix crew has been involved in, every Smash Camp, and every time the Phoenix crew has lost,
but it's for the best because I think if we won, we would die. Someone would drink too much alcohol.
Yeah, I was saying that the day Phoenix wins a crew battle at Smash Camp is the day that Smash Camp becomes an just unmitigated disaster, and people hate it forever.
I would have thrown an air horn in the Tucson cabin if we won. On God, if we won, I would have thrown a fuck.
You should have done that anyway, brother.
So,
No.
who are the crews or who are the people involved in the crews for that?
For the Phoenix or for the one that just happened?
For the one that just happened.
We did cabin crews for once, which everybody's been asking for. So there were a couple crews. I think grand finals was Ryobeat, Card, Travi, Logan, and Rianne. And then the other crew in grand finals was Alston, Melee, and Fiction, and Tuesday and Trade Trash.
And then the Alston Melee crew beat the Phoenix crew, the AZ crew, which was Nick, Vitro, Floats, the Formuloli, and who am I missing?
Ben.
That's right, Ben, of course. So yeah, disappointment.
I took my 7, bro. I did what I had to do.
Yeah, for sure. It's hard to beat the Fiction crew, right?
Fiction's just too goated.
He does take a lot of he does take a lot of stocks.
I saw him versus I guess SoCal Cabin was like a
that crew was actually that crew battle was off stream and it was really wild.
That was insane.
Mm-hmm.
And then hey, look who ended up winning in singles, right? Suf got his way.
There it is.
Edwin, was that the biggest upset that we saw this tournament? I feel like there's a few like cool sets, but I think mostly kind of played out to what we expected, right?
Yeah, like even Spark beating Kadoran, that was not like super like out of nowhere, right? Like we knew that could happen.
Yeah. Every seed 1 through 16 made it out in winners. No upsets during pools.
Nice.
Of those seeds anyway. So, thanks, Wheat.
I guess Albert.
I didn't fully do it. I'll take credit for that.
Yeah, the one thing you didn't do was put CPU 0 where he was, and he played to his seed. So
I said he could go as high as whatever you guys ended up pushing him up to.
Right. Yeah.
Wait, that's right. Albert beat Fiction also. Yeah, I guess Albert's run was a nice little like return to form for him.
Yeah, it's you know what? I don't think Smash Camp, if just looking at results, I don't think it like makes or breaks anyone. But it's like a nice little way to reinforce what we've seen, right? This is like Suf's, Suf has to be a great win. It's going to be very good for him going down the line, but pretty much like, what we are beginning to expect. But yeah, it's just like, none of this stuff is really new, but it is very helpful for everyone's resume. It like bolsters them up a little bit. I think at this point we got to talk about like, how Kadoran going into the next major, like how likely is he to make top 8? How likely is he to make top, like we kind of see him as this player who's getting gate kept, but I don't know. At this point, we saw him lose his spark here, but we saw like some pretty good sets with SFAT. Like, does this change your opinion of Kadoran going into Genesis, Edwin?
I gotta say, Kadoran hasn't lost a LAN tournament this year, so I feel like
it's scary.
Like he's cleanly.
Wait, this year?
Gotta be. Yeah. This year he hasn't dropped.
Yeah, he won over what, like S2J. He won a Lawless over S2J.
Yeah, he's won Lawless over S2J. He won this. He won that NorCal event. I think. Heading even earlier into this year when people were talking about Kadoran top 10 or so, I did think it was kind of close between him and some of the other people on the outside. But like if we're talking just this year results alone, like it's hard to find someone who's entered as much offline and won as much offline over a variety of opponents the way Kadoran has. It's quite stunning. So I would say like it's not even that winning this alone is out of the norm for him, but as a pattern that we've noticed this year, I do think it's even better than the Kadoran we saw making top 8s at the end of 2021, which is kind of ridiculous to think that, because usually like when you have a stretch where you continuously make top 8s, that's typically when like everybody's got their sights on you, so it's natural to see kind of a bit of a decline after that kind of thing. But for Kadoran, he's just gotten better. Like his worst showing this year might have just been like LACS. which pretty big online tournament. But
his worst showing here was probably dropping a set to Spark and still winning. Now only if a little Pikachu was here.
Right.
Who knows
one thing that I kind of wanted to see also, it would have taken 2 more Free Palestine losers bracket wins, but was the run back of Free Palestine and Kadoran from the Summit set.
Yeah.
But
see, I heard I saw the Anissa set versus Zamu on stream, which is very fun. But I saw people crowding around the Free Palestine off-stream sets. The him versus Floats,
yeah,
apparently amazing. Him versus Squid, I heard, was pretty okay as well. But yeah, like
oh my goodness,
corner.
that he almost hit the Nick Yingling factor against Suf after that Zelda grab.
Oh my god, dude, that was like the most insane.
That was
thing.
wild.
Yeah, that would have been an amazing comeback if he had just got one more fair,
Yeah, I think this tournament was really fun to watch, and what's really funny is that I forgot about most of these things until we talked about it. Like my opinion on Smash Camp did not have much to do with bracket, but now I'm getting all the memories coming back, and like we had some pretty fun sets.
Yeah, truth be told, I probably wouldn't have noticed much of it either if I hadn't commentated. But that Fiction Logan set too.
Logan face roll as well.
Logan face roll was so close. I could not believe how down to the wire that one was. That was one of the most exciting sets of the tournament.
He's got extra frames now. Logan came up to me and they were like, so I can say this because they now, we figured it out, but they complained about lag at Smash World Tour, the East Coast qualifier.
and Summit too. Yeah.
Well, Summit the story is it's all about a Goom Wave. Believe it or not. Yeah, who knew?
Yeah.
No, Logan
who could have predicted?
And he was like, "Want to apologize for saying there was lag at Smash World Tour." Rihanna and I, we looked at my Goom Wave. It's for some reason, some things, the soldering's weird. It's giving me 3 extra frames of lag, and I don't know. It's like this does not sound right.
I've heard enough. I've heard enough Goom Wave speak.
I don't know enough about Goom Waves.
I would just literally nod and be like,
I'm like, a Goom Wave could do this. If someone said my controller's giving me 3 extra frames of lag before Goom Waves are around, I was, like what? Yeah,
I'll take that.
There you go. But like in the post Goom Wave era, someone could be telling me that they're like, yeah, every time I pick Puff, she's got a shine now. I'm like, yeah, no, this sounds right. Like, I don't know what.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Argue with them?
Mikey, I don't know if you were in the venue for when the other half of the Fuck House went against the Ryobeat crew.
I was, yeah.
Did you hear us start to ship that Goom Wave chant?
That's right, ship that Goom Wave.
Very good. Yeah, Nick hasn't received his Goom Wave, so we started to ship that Goom Wave chant while Rianne was playing.
That's funny. Oh my god.
Just a little bullying as a treat.
It's
Look,
fine.
Aiden got his Goom Wave first. It was
Rianne did set up an unauthorized controller booth in the mess hall, so
yeah, I said no.
Fair.
I said no, and then she asked to @ everybody. So that's crazy.
It's whatever.
We love a grind set. Unfortunately, we do love a grind set. You know what was a real grind set moment? It was in the mess hall. This was what was lunch? Lunch was Sunday, right?
Sandwiches.
Yes. So yeah, sandwiches, like chips and stuff. Kadoran was complaining about
about the food.
Well, he said, "Man, I wish it wasn't white bread." He's like, "I don't want to eat the white bread." And I was like, "There's a vegan option on like wheat bread."
I'm pretty sure you just ask the people who work there and they'll give you something else.
Yeah, so he told me that he doesn't want the vegan option because it doesn't have anything tasty on it. And I was like, "What is tasty on the non-vegan option that is like not there on the vegan option?" He's like, "The meat." I was like, "Take the meat off and just slide it in." So he's not comfortable with this, and he's it takes a little bit of riling him up because I'm telling him, I'm like, Fiction's eating like 60 carrot sticks a day. Like that's your competition out there, man. And you're gonna say no to this like wheat bread. So he goes and he says, "Hey, can I get the plant-based option?" So he gets that. and he's just like shoving the meat into it, and he's like taking. He finally takes a bite, and then the woman comes over, and she's like, I was able to find some vegan cookies for you, and like plops them down, and it's just, dude, all the regret in his face. But I mean, it worked out, right?
Yeah.
May I sum
Can't be
this
mad when
up
you get
in
number
a
one.
May I sum this up in a joke?
Yes, please.
Yeah, a Marth player and a podcaster walk into a bar, and the Marth player says, "Finish it, give me that weed." Get it?
Yes.
Chats. I'm farming little W's right now for that one. I know this.
That's incredible.
It took it. I don't know, man. It took some restraint to keep saying wheat. Well, I can't make the joke though, so I gotta pass the torch.
You gotta pass.
I gotta pass the something. But yeah, no, I mean the secret to winning a tournament like this. Here's the thing: SFAT probably ate that vegan sandwich. Kadoran ate that vegan sandwich and threw some meat in there. So
yes.
Did we figure out the difference between first and second place?
It's true.
Edwin, before we, we're gonna talk about where there's a new Smash Camp, of course, in Oregon, where Smash Camp goes from here. But before we do that, is there anything else you want to say about bracket? We kind of glossed over a little bit of it because there was so much that was, going on outside of bracket. But I mean, we saw like a good run from Zamu. We saw a run that, it's the whole thing, right? Like this is not unexpected from a lot of these players, but it's just like reinforcing what we already know and just like seeing good runs from these people. I don't know if there's anything you want to shout out real quick before we go.
Yeah, I mean the main thing I would say is that just like it is kind of funny how well seeded this tournament was in terms of its results, because I still remember a lot of the sets, but they turned out in the favorites way. So it's got like a weird dynamic because the sets themselves are so memorable, and I remember like specific moments in them and whatnot. Like obviously Sue Fiction, I remember Logan face roll. A lot of sets where the favorites still ended up with, like even CPU Fiction I thought was great to watch as well. Fiction, that guy's got like nerves of steel at the end of the CPU set. I couldn't believe how just like composed he kept playing throughout that. That was wild.
How do we feel about top 32 opposed to top 48?
It's just better. It's just objectively better. It didn't make our tournament run any later. The only difference was it's 2 blocks of commentary instead of 3. And we always have a lot of commentators come through, but it wasn't a problem this time.
Yeah, I thought it was a cool. I mean, I think like the people that are drawn to this event are people who you can throw in commentary, and because of that, we had a lot of cool blocks that I did not hear, but I assume just from looking at them, they were great.
I guess there was one result that I thought was insane. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that Deft beat Kata. I think Kata is like a monstrous player. That guy is horrifying. I saw Deft Kata, and I was so certain that Kata was going to make like this big losers run, and Deft just stopped him in his tracks.
Yeah, that was like the real Kata, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I think I just I think I missed him in the attendees list at some point. But very, very strong Puerto Rican Samus player. Probably the best Puerto Rican
Deft's pretty good against floaties, in my opinion. So
violence practice, maybe.
Deft.
Well, he lives in Japan now.
104, right? Weren't there like 100 Defs at this tournament for some reason?
I mean, there were 2 to be exact, but still,
felt like there were a lot.
Yeah.
I did go 2 and 4 in bets for Smash Camp sets, so it wasn't my best day.
Always comes back to this with you. Let's talk about so you guys mentioned top 32 and stuff like that. We've got a new tournament coming up. Obviously, we've got Smash Camp New Lands. What's it called?
Horizons.
New Lands.
It's not called New.
I thought it's New Lands.
I'm kidding. I'm fucking with you.
I'll just say
it's New Lands. I kept calling it New Grounds to Jim Jam and was like making puns about it. And then he's like, that's not what it's called, right? I like literally forgot what it was called and just created my own bit on that. but yeah, it's not new lands, right? Not new grounds.
New
Yes,
lands.
new lands.
So we got Smash Camp new lands. It's coming up soon, and I don't know what this means for any Smash Camps in Arizona, but like, is there a reason to experiment with anything here? Like, did you see anything that you want to improve on? Because like, this is a
Uh,
tournament, like we mentioned, it is because of it's smaller scale, because it caps, like, it has to be. Um, like, you obviously already made the change from top 48 to top 32 for this one. Is there any like inclination to do anything else, like in pool stage or something, to experiment?
no, I think mostly the reason is because there are a lot of places where it would make sense to do a Smash Camp.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona is not necessarily one of them that immediately jumps to mind to people, but I really think Oregon is, right. Like, that definitely fits the vibe of what you'd expect from
We have
Oregon.
kind of become tricked into thinking that Arizona is like Camp Central,
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like it's like,
as it
yeah, no,
should
this is
be.
where camp's supposed to be.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Like, a lot of people have asked in the past, and for people at Smash Camp, about running tournaments at a campground, and if I have any advice or if I would like to work with them on it. And I feel like, you know, it's a pretty good idea. I feel like a tournament will probably be more successful if it's at a campground, if it has the Smash Camp brand on it. And I trust Connor a lot. I've worked with Connor a lot recently on Smash Camp and on main stage, and you know, I I like what Connor does, so I was like, hey, they have this idea, and we might as well fucking grip it and rip it. Uh, as far as what happens with bracket or anything like that, I mean, Connor's kind of a bracket wizard, so I'm sure that there will
Yeah.
be some shenanigans. I mean, I think testing out the multiple amateur bracket sort of thing was, probably something that we'll implement at stuff going forward as well. I feel like, it's just kind of gravy. It didn't really, interrupt the schedule at all. Once you're down to top 32, you're not using so many setups that it's going to cause a problem or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll probably see something like that, but it's so early. It's hard to say exactly. But
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
the great part is that whenever you have a large tournament, right, um, it has to fulfill a lot of things, but like, one of the things it has to fulfill is, what is the reason to go if you're going to go 0-2, right? That's
exactly.
like any tournament. And for a lot of those tournaments, it's like, you might get a glimpse of Mango, right? If you
Mm-hmm.
if you go to Genesis, that's going to be huge. You're going to see everyone. Um, but generally, like, tournaments have to answer this question, and because of that, you see stuff like Shine with like the sit and go brackets, and like, they all do this to a good extent. Um, but I mean, what Smash Camp has that kind of blows it out of the water is that if you go as an O2, or if you go as someone who doesn't enter, like, you don't have to rely on melee as the thing to bring people in, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm sure with the level 1 folks over there, they'll create something that's very cool. But yeah, I mean, they always have that thing to fall back on you can just play some volleyball or whatever. What
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Jim Jam was joking to me about you franchising out Smash Camp like you're
Like
McDonald's or
Burger
something.
King. Yeah, we were talking about that on commentary too.
Yeah. But there
Smash
is
Camp
like
NFT coming soon, of course.
there's some truth to it. I mean, this is like, started as a pretty novel idea, but I mean, it's like, doesn't take a genius to see to see why Smash Camp's successful, right? It's just like, hey, fun stuff plus Smash. Who knew?
And I think it's kind of been done before too. I don't know if Camp Coney is the one that predates us, but there's something in Europe uh, that
Oh
was a
yeah.
smaller scale thing, but is a Smash tournament that happens at a camp. Um,
Yeah,
uh,
I think Camp Cone was 2020.
was it?
But
Is
but
that
but yeah.
I don't
Mhm.
know. It's probably something different that I'm
Yeah,
thinking
you're
of.
thinking of something different. Camp Coney was after us.
Yeah. Um, yeah, but I don't know. Like, it's been done before,
Hmm.
just not like as big as Smash Camp, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, but I, obviously, like, you see it happen and you're like, oh, that makes a whole lot of sense.
I would not have come with it myself, but then you see it happen. It's like, oh, duh. Like, yeah, of course. Of course it all
Right.
works out.
Yeah.
I mean, because of this, is this something that, I'm not trying to force you into something, but like, is the future of Smash Camp in Prescott, is this still something people can go to?
Oh yeah,
What do you-
we're gonna keep it going as long as the camp will have us, I think. Um,
Which,
you
who
know,
knows what that means?
It
Not
gets
that
all
bad.
our retired friends to go to a tournament and hang out with us. So
It does.
I can't
Which is
imagine
nice.
us not doing it when it's so easy to get our friends to go to that out of the house.
Yep. So yeah, I'm down to run indefinitely more Smash camps up in Prescott. Who knows how long that'll last, but I still love doing it. I still, like seeing everyone there, and it still works. So
I had an amazing time. Worst thing was probably me calling myself Baker Mayfield and then throwing the worst football pass I've ever thrown in my life.
Oh no!
that was funny.
Yeah, I think only Mikey and 2 other people witnessed it, so I did it at a good time. If at any point I was to do that, that was that. But other than that, I will say it was a pretty amazing experience, and yeah, man, I hope to do it soon. And I guess the last question I have for you guys on Smash Camp is, like, how are you able to make it work that Edwin gets in? Because, like, just straight up, I don't think he's getting in. I don't think he's got that drive.
We'll figure it out.
He'll have to message us a day before we do registration, and then he's gonna give us double the cost of everybody else.
There are
Never mind, I'm
so many
staying home.
ways. There are so many ways that we could scam people out of more money for Smash Camp.
Yeah.
First of all, the waitlist means that we could be charging more money if we wanted to.
True.
We could charge extra for people to reserve a spot, at any point. Could
Mhm.
charge extra for priority waitlist shit. Could charge extra for the premium cabins.
Dude, we could charge like $40 extra just to be like, yeah, we'll put water in your cabin too.
Exactly. There's so much stuff that we could do to scam the community. So you're welcome, Smash community, I guess.
We haven't started scamming just
Yeah, you're
yet.
welcome for not getting scammed.
Yeah.
But just know we could.
Agree.
And we might
We're-
someday when we really
We're very
need to.
grateful.
Well, Edwin, I hope to see you. If I'm able to make it, right, I hope to see you at another one. And we kind of, the talk around town was that if you were to go to Smash Camp, you'd buy like an Airbnb or a hotel and just Uber in every day.
Oh my god, I'm not such a diva.
I mean, there
break.
are
I'm
people who
surprised
do
more
that.
people don't do that. Actually,
We have some people who do that. Duke Vitro being one of them.
that's what Hugs was gonna do.
Yeah,
this
Hugs
time.
gonna do that. There's a lot of
Before he's late.
there's people that do that. They just
See,
don't like.
I'm just comparing you to my good friend Hugo.
Yeah,
You took it as an insult. Wow.
I'm gonna diss track you live at the next Smash Camp. Edwin, so get
Oh,
ready for that one.
no.
Yeah, Mikey, if you need
The
details,
sequel.
just hit me up. Just we'll talk in DMs. I'll
Yeah,
spill.
send me the beat.
I thought you were supposed to sell me on this tournament.
I mean, you're
Yeah,
involved.
dude, he'll pull you up on stage. It'll be fun.
Yeah,
He'll do it
You'll
live
laugh
too.
You'll get bullied.
Yeah, I'm not trying to
in
get pulled
real
up on
time.
stage before top 8 and diss track.
Oh no, it's
Okay,
all
so
Friday.
it's after top 8 works for you.
You fucking
Yeah,
coward.
late hours, sure.
Yeah,
I'm down to give Mustache the primetime spot. So, if you insist.
Just
You
cancel
know-
top 8, throw Mustache up there.
That's
Oh,
one,
also,
that's one thing Oregon won't have. Must cash.
Well, we don't
True.
know that.
Oh, that's true. We
Could
don't
just
know
bring
that.
the boys out.
We
Tobo
could.
lives in Washington. So
This is true.
I'm excited to see what the Oregon one brings. Hopefully I can go, and yeah, I'm excited to see what the future brings. And who knows? Maybe the future will bring a bedtime, Edwin. Mandatory camp bedtime.
I swear, I'm much cooler than the way Wheat presents me on this show.
You
I'm
do
much-
love
I'm much
bedtime.
cooler
You've
than
talked
that.
about bedtime to multiple guests.
Radiohead
so.
enjoyer.
Have I actually? It does sound like something I've done, but I can't remember anything in particular.
Well, here let's move on because we've got a little game here. You know, Smash Camp runs incredibly well, and I think one of the things is it's the relationship that the two of you guys have. I think that you two, as you know, obviously not the only TOs, but as kind of the main faces of the brand, I think really does help sell people on it. So let's put it to the test. We've got a little bit of a game here, and we're gonna see just how well these two know each other. So it's basically newlywed game. Now it's come to my attention that this game that I created probably would have worked best if Edwin and I also did it, but so you're gonna be like playing to try to get a perfect score. I guess you're not
Damn.
necessarily gonna be
I
playing.
don't know shit about Mikey. That's a bummer.
You're not supposed to admit that.
Well, I mean, it is what it is.
All right. Well,
this guy went to my wedding, by the way.
All right. Here, I'll start it off. So we're gonna have questions for each other. So this one is for Mikey. So Mikey, we asked Nick this. What was the first tournament that you guys met each other at?
This was Seagram Smash, which took place at my house.
Okay, this was So let's
2015.
reveal. JD, can we reveal the answer? It is Seagram's number 1, which was at Mikey's house. So correct. We got a point on the board. All right. So right now, perfect score. Right now, everyone should go to
Hell
Smash
yeah.
Camp. We got a perfect score. All right, Edwin.
Imagine I put something. Oh, I should have put something else. Damn.
All right.
Edwin, we got question
Yingling.
number 2.
All right,
What's up?
Yingling. What was the final score of Mikey's first 5 with Chillin' Samus?
I didn't even know they fucking played. It's probably like
Oh,
with
no.
Chillin' Samus.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was.
I
A
know. Can I know
Genesis.
what tournament this is at?
It was a show match for Genesis
I think
before
that
LACS.
I think you took 3 games.
So what does that mean? What
Or did you
would
take
you
zero?
say?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Say
give me the
5-3?
game count of a first to 5. What do you
First
think?
to 5 is probably like 3-5.
Okay.
Wait, so just to be clear,
Mikey
you
took
think
3.
that Chillin won the match
Yes.
5-3?
Yes.
Okay.
What was it?
Edwin, what was it?
The final score was 6-1 because they needed to fill up time in the rest of the hour or so.
Who was
reserved
one?
for
Because
the
Who
match.
Chillin
won?
beat me too fast. He won 5-0, and then we decided to keep going until I won, and it took me 2 more
You
games.
farm hugs and you lose to Chillin' Samus.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
why it was fun.
crazy. I didn't even know this existed. That's crazy.
All right. So
Unfortunately, that does bring
Wait,
us to
wait.
50% though, which
our
is
perfect
necessary.
score,
Shit.
yeah, it's a little room, but we can see how far
Fuck.
we can get.
Wait,
We might be able to
wait.
get like a B
I need to
plus
look
on
at
this
the
one.
questions
That was
again.
question 1, Nick.
All right, how about this?
Oh,
Ready?
okay.
We asked Nick, how many games would he take off of Chillin' Samus in a first to 5?
I think he
What are you
said
thinking?
5. I think he'd win the set.
Yes, sir.
He did say 5. You know what would have been a good question? What do you think? How many games would you have lost, Nick?
Maybe 1.
Okay, just
5-1.
freebie. All right, so we're back on.
And just to be
track.
clear, the 5 games you win are all in the actual set. They're not
Yeah.
after this. Nice. All right. So, Yingling, what's the name of Mikey's diss track against Hugo?
Fuck. Oh, I just fucking read it. Oh. I can't remember it. I really don't know, but I just fucking read it yesterday. What is it called? I'm not gonna.
You're not
like,
gonna
what
even
it's
give a guess.
called. No shot. It's probably something like.
Fuck, dude.
It's probably like something like got 129th at Evo or something.
Well,
It does have Evo in the title.
does have Evo on it.
Fuck. What is it?
Mikey, you want to reveal?
It's called Second at Evo, Second to the Cheat.
Fuck. Oh god. Bro,
All right,
why are Mikey's questions so fucking intricate and mine are just
So we went from an A to an F to a D to an F.
Yeah, the Nick
Well,
questions
see-
have just been something that happened at my house.
and what
He
if?
beat Chillin' Samus, which I think we can both agree he probably would.
There are a few hypotheticals in this. All right, so we're at 2 out of 4. Let's see. I don't know. Okay, how about this one, Mikey? What is Yingling's best win?
Yingling's best win is shit. It's either Bobby Big Balls or Elliot. I'm trying to decide which one Nick
Dude,
would have put.
I forgot I even fucking beat Elliot. That's crazy. That's crazy.
That it's probably Bobby Big Balls. I'm gonna say.
I like my second answer better now.
There is an official, the official answer is Bobby Big Balls or Duke Vitro.
Duke Vitro. Hey, Duke Vitro is a bracket demon for a lot of fucking people. I'll tell you what.
This is true.
It's not a bad win.
No. Right, so what does that bring us up to? 60%? 3 out of 5?
I think we gotta count that 3 out of 5, yeah.
All right.
So the next question's about to be fucking I don't even know. What is Mikey's mom's maiden name or some shit?
Well, what we have is
let's see.
Who is Mikey's favorite Suns player of all time?
Of all time.
Oh, I want to say Dario Saric just because it's funny.
Ooh.
Maybe
76ers.
Wheat's favorite Suns player of all time.
My favorite. We talked about my favorite Suns player is Mikal Bridges. I'm gonna get a Mikal Bridges 76ers jersey.
Of course.
Is it Nash? Damn, who we got, Mike?
Sean Marion.
Damn, that's actually crazy.
Yeah, even I knew that.
Every time we go to every time we go to a Suns game, he only wears the Nash jersey. So
they don't have this. They don't have the Marion jersey like that, the black 90s one.
Yingling, you gotta get one on the board,
bro. I'm giving these fucking. Just continue. Just keep rolling. Keep going.
All right. Well, we've got some ones that here. Maybe I think the ones that we got are a little more forgiving to finish it out. So ready? All right. Who wins in a one-on-one basketball game? Mikey.
Me.
See, these are Mikey's questions. I'm like, who's Mikey's favorite Suns players? Like,
just me.
Can you name the best top 3? Name fucking 14 Suns players.
Well, okay, yeah, you guys both agree to be Mikey.
Yingling,
redemption.
Who wins on the squares?
Oh, it's definitely me. You're smoking cock, dick, and ball. I'm just in the King Square more.
Simply not true.
What?
My game sense is better.
You're 0 for 4, Yingling. You only have one more chance.
And I'm perfect, right?
I gotta say, that one was a little more of a subjective question.
It's more contentious, right?
But you gotta think of what the other one's saying.
Bro, you're like 7th on the US tier list.
That's simply not true.
That is simply true.
I'm on the starting 5 for sure.
No, you're not.
Give me that.
You're fine. You're 6.
Aiden, Nick.
You're 6, man.
The next 3 are you, me, and Noel in some order.
I don't know, man. Texas is fucking grimy. They're up there somewhere.
No.
Maybe we get Chroma up there, man.
Maybe Chrome's got potential. He's got the low center of gravity. You know what I'm saying? Athletic.
What is my final question? Or was that the final one, or is the next one Mike?
No, that was the second last one. You have another opportunity. You have another chance.
Yeah.
Well, here we've got. All right, ready? Who beats Aiden worse in basketball?
How is this answer going to be any different from the last one, Wheat? It's also me.
Aiden probably just beats me.
That is the correct answer, Mikey.
There's a funny clip. Okay, so
I think Mikey got a perfect score.
I did, yes. Also, there's at Summit, what the people didn't see. So there was a delay in Summit basketball where Toussaint had to sit out for a bit, and Aiden came in, and they didn't cut back to the gameplay fast enough to see Aiden fronting me in the post, and then me get an entry pass and fucking just body him out of the way and score on his ass. And people will never see it.
I saw
and I'm so sad. Nick saw it. Nick was there.
Aiden knows what it felt like.
Nick gave me the entry pass.
I did.
Yeah, no, I had a very fun time watching the basketball tournament, but the entire time I was just like, damn, I'd be hitting Aiden with like the cleanest screens. I would just I'd plant, man. Yeah, we were we did H. Horse. I guess I should friendly
Melee
pine
stats
staff.
out of context.
Friendly pine staff. Aiden and I did not
That's
do
right.
street drug H. We did
That's right.
horse. We did horse
They
to
did
one letter.
ketamine.
Yeah, we were off some H at the outside the fuck house on that little 7 foot
Oh,
rim.
dude, on the backboard that doesn't stay still.
Dude, that the Mountain Dew
Yeah.
backboard. Yeah, we were. Well, it had to be all swishes basically.
Legendary.
But yeah, before we got to H, he tried to make one shot and I blocked the hell out of him, and then I just decided to go full Zion and I double handed dunked it.
That's right.
So I'm seeing Aiden out here winning this thing, and I'm just like, man, one day, what? I don't even need to score. I'll just make sure Aiden doesn't.
All right, Yingling, this is your last question. Who beats Aiden worse in Melee?
Okay, now the answer to this is obvious, but I need
That's
you
me.
to throw.
That's me, and
Fuck you.
I farmed Aiden at Smash Camp
Well, you
and the
have to
day
think about
before
what
at his
Mikey
house.
said. Do you think Mikey answered you?
What was Mikey's answer? What did Mike say?
Well, you have to think about what he says.
What did he say?
You're not answering the question yourself. You're trying to get his answer. Do you think he said you?
I hope so.
So that's your final answer?
Yes.
Edwin, should we tell him?
Yeah, drop it. Drop it on him.
Nick Yingling, you have gotten a point.
Wow,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
fucking course I did.
Crazy. Crazy.
You got up to 6. What is it? 6 out of 10?
I'm making some
These got
questions.
degrees, all right?
I'm making some fucking questions for Edwin and fucking Wheat right now.
You gotta give me a hard. You gotta give me a hard one. I need at least one hard. JD,
what's
JD?
Nick's? What's Yingling's birthday?
Oh fuck, August 26th.
Bro, that's fucking other Nick.
Is it? Yours is in August though, right?
Mine is August 8th.
That's my sister's
Okay.
birthday.
See, I knew it was an even number in August.
Yeah, that's fine.
Edwin, do you know my birthday?
Yeah, of course I know your birthday. It's May
Okay.
14th,
And you want to ask
1995.
me? You want to ask me if I? Well, don't tell everyone how old I am.
Hey, can I also get your social, Wheat?
I did the 3 numbers on the back of your credit card.
Edwin, you want to ask me if I know your birthday?
Yeah, when's my birthday, Wheat?
May 14th, 1994.
Is
You
that
guys are
so?
born same fucking
Wow,
day.
it's like
And you
you
guys-
Vitro and Lucas.
You guys want to know Pokemon's birthday?
May
What-
14th,
when is Pokemon?
1993?
Ooh, whoa. May 14th, 1996.
96. Okay, Boki's not a boomer. Nick, what's
She's
my
not.
birthday?
She's not pushing 30.
You should know this because you were there for my birthday. You were there.
What
We were
birthday?
together on my birthday this year.
This year?
In 2021, yeah.
Where have I haven't feel like I've been in California the whole year. Are you sure?
It was in California.
Oh, it was at Summit. Fuck. No, it wasn't this year, was it? Summit
It was
this year?
2021, yeah.
Wait, it's 2022.
It was Smash Summit 11. Yeah.
That's last year.
I know, but this birthday, this last birthday that
okay.
I had.
I think it's June or July. Fucking, man, it's June 16th.
No, it's July 18th.
Yeah,
That's
crazy.
okay.
That's crazy.
That's okay.
It's crazy.
Fuck.
We'll have to figure out. We'll talk to our producer about how this affects the score. We'll try to figure out what that means. But yeah, right now let's just call it a 6. We won't call it a 6 out of what. We don't know what percentage it is. We just know it's a 6. So maybe who knows? Maybe one day we'll get Connor and Jade on here. We'll test them out versus you.
That would be great.
That's just hope they know everything about each other. Actually,
I'll ask them what their favorite value meal, like the best Taco Bell dollar menu item is.
Oh yeah, they love that shit. I just learned that about them this weekend.
The spicy potato taco, yeah.
Yeah.
That shit goes hard.
I mean, Mikey, before we got a podcast around here, so we're gonna get into some stuff, of course. But were you there when I was talking to Kendrick, Josh, and he was talking about fast food tier list, and I said you should never do a straight tier list for fast food.
You need a fast food political compass.
Yeah, it should have it should be price and quality. Because people put their tier lists out there and they're like, Five Guys is just so much better than like whatever. And it's like, yeah, dude, I wonder why. I wonder why paying $13 for this is better than like going somewhere and getting like Wendy's for $5.
Hey bro, In-N-Out for $3 still better. That's all I'm saying.
In-N-Out in Arizona. We went to there. Apparently there was an In-N-Out where everyone went afterwards.
Oh, that In-N-Out's hype.
I saw Kador in there. That was his game-winning meal. I saw some SoCal TOs, but the person in this story is Ringler. Ringler had the little catalog that you can buy like an In-N-Out shirt and stuff. He had the catalog, and he's like, "Bro, we don't have this one in Arizona." And he pointed to an In-N-Out tactical bag. It's like $80. You get this like huge green bag, and so I don't know. I'm just thinking, man, we gotta. I kept telling him to buy it. I was like, you're gonna regret this when you get across to California. Like, you're gonna want the In-N-Out tactical bag now.
He'll be back.
That's why we have to. That's why Smash Camp has to happen again. We got to get the tactical bag.
That also sounds like a very Ringler purchase to make.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like, there's that one's hard to decipher, right? There's so many things about it that I'm like, yeah, no, that's incredibly Ringler. There's just all these elements to it that make it like that.
That's right.
Edwin, you ever been to In-N-Out?
Yeah, I've been.
You don't eat meat. What do you get?
I went there
cheese?
when I used to eat meat.
Oh, okay.
Do you get a flying
like in
Dutchman
2015.
What's the last meat you ever had?
Probably like a burger somewhere.
Do you think you'll have meat again?
I don't plan to, but you never know.
All right, here's a TO game question. Nick, what's the last meet Mikey's had?
Probably at camp or yesterday. No? What is it, bro?
I had a slice of pepperoni pizza a little bit ago, so it's pepperoni.
Yeah, crazy. I'm just a whole state away. My bad.
Okay, I actually have another question for you, Nick. And this is really important. I need to know this for sure. Okay, this is kind of a ridiculous bedtime. No, not
Too late.
So imagine that, like, for a second, that Mikey someday like has a awakening, right? And he just realizes he loves Ganondorf. Like, he only plays Ganondorf. He only plays Melee with other Ganondorf players. And like, if you don't play Ganondorf, he doesn't want to be friends with you. And like, this is just everything else about him is normal, but specifically when it comes to Melee, you have to play Ganondorf, otherwise he won't play with you, and he won't even want to be friends with you. Now, with this in mind, would you kind of bite the bullet and accept that your friendship is over, or would Mikey successfully convert you?
No, I enjoy winning Melee too much, so I would just play Ganondorf so I could win. So the most fun part about playing Melee is clowning on your friends when you beat them. So I would switch. I would switch to Ganon.
That's why.
Insane.
I would switch to Ganon.
Cool.
So you literally cannot play another character.
Yeah, that's fine. It's only around Mikey, I thought.
No. Like, no. Sorry, I didn't make that clear. You have to play only Ganon for the rest of your time in Melee.
I mean, when Mikey's not looking, it'll be fine to break edge a little bit.
Yeah, I'm giving you permission to bounce in this scenario. This guy sounds like a fucking ass.
This is such a fucked up ultimatum situation.
Yeah, this was left on the cutting room floor. This was like one of Edwin's points. It was one of his questions for the game. And I was like, yeah, I'm not sure about this one. So I cut it. But I eventually found its way out.
If I can't break edge in secret, then I'm out.
This is what Edwin is standing up on the table for in the writer's room, dude. That's insane.
He's like, we must know what happens in this situation.
It was very important. I feel like it's better that's out there in the aether than not said at all.
Honestly,
You
I'm
need to
not
know
sure
your
if
answer.
I like you calling, even in a hypothetical situation, I don't know if I like you calling Mikey again in Maine.
I was gonna say
Well-
it made me retch a little bit. Just
He
hearing
plays Luigi.
Well, it is a like.
In my mind, there's a huge difference. I forget who it was. I think it was Gerg, aka Greg.
Mikey, you have to prepare for the worst, right?
So
Yeah.
Greg.
Well, let's switch this. Let's switch this situation.
saying
Pretend it
that
was Yingling that did.
You're saying that I have to prepare for me becoming worse as a person. That's what you're saying.
This is like
you
a
know
situation.
that along with this, I have to begin wearing cargo shorts.
Yeah,
and the Zelda
yeah,
t-shirt,
exactly.
And I have to grow this out super long and start putting it in a fucking ponytail all the time.
You gotta get different shoes also.
You
And
were
I
a
have to
little bit of a
shave,
ponytail this
shave
weekend.
everything on my beard from this point down. That's what you're saying to me.
Your
right
stream content will be great though.
Start talking about how you'll never make it to the big stage and shit. This is what you think that I should be thinking about.
Yes.
Preposterous.
Just wanna. This is like a, like a movie. Like you just got bit, so you know you're about to turn into something, and you're writing to your family so that like I won't be able to like control what I become. Just like remember me as a Luigi man. Don't remember me for what I become. Remember me for what I am now.
It's so sad that that's what I have to cling to.
I love the idea of just like a Ganondorf player who refuses to play with like any other, like the only tournaments they enter are like the Gyarados King series or whatever,
or like actually just keeps entering open brackets and just DQs all the time. They buy a flight to Genesis. They're like, damn, I hope I hope my bracket has some Ganondorfs in it for once.
They prepare like for this whole weekend and everything.
All right,
I start talking about disrespect all the time.
There was a question at my lunch table one day. God, it makes me sound like I'm in junior high or something.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, actually, at your lunch table.
At my lunch table, I wonder like was there like a jocks goths cool popular kids, like I wonder if there was that thing and I just didn't realize it
at Smash Camp.
Yeah,
I was definitely. What would you consider Alston Melee? Because whatever they're considered, that's where I'm at.
Degens.
Yeah. No, but I was at my little lunch table and I saw
white claws at the table.
So Kadoran was talking to someone. They got up, and then Blur walks over, sits down with Kadoran, and then Logan comes over, sits down with them, and I'm thinking about it. So for the purpose of this, let's include Ganon, I guess, because you're talking about Ganon, so we got to do it. But we tried to make a tier list of the top tiers, the top 8 characters on the last tier list, of how much the mains of that character like each other. So I think Marth in that example, I think they're very high. I put them at number 2. You want to know who I have at number 1? Edwin, do you know? I think I talked about this. What
are you gonna say Peach?
I think Peach mains love each other so much.
Yeah.
Like you ever see at Smash World Tour finals, it'd be like Lod, Polish, Wally, Triff, Ara, all just, and like Keizu would all just like walk around talking to each other, and they'd all talk about like how like you if like Lod 3-0s like Ara or whatever, then they each like compliment each other right after the match, right? I think the love they have for each other, I don't think another character comes close, but I do think Marth
sucks.
I think Marth is second.
Sucks. So bad.
The hard after you get to second though, it's so hard. I think Sheik maybe is next, only because of Griffin and Spark. I don't know where you guys think about this.
I'm thinking Spaceys would be at the top when they lose to X character. But any other time,
Spaceys definitely, like, they help each other out when they lose.
Yeah, if both Spaceys lose to Peach, then they're fucking best friends for the day. Or like any character for that matter. But other than that, they're never friends. It's only when they
Puff
lose.
mates. What about puff
I've
mates? Do they fucking
zero
hate each
idea.
other?
Puff mates are they never talk to each other. They're all hiding
I-
what they know.
Yeah, I truly don't think they talk to each other. I don't think they hate each other, but I don't
Where's
think they talk to
Falcon
each
on
other.
this?
Mid.
Mid.
Yeah, I think they've all got like a begrudging respect for each other, but they all
That's
like
true,
think
yeah.
but they think everyone is doing worse than they are, right? They're all like,
Yeah.
I'm doing this better, but they have this outward sense of like, like they're doing what they're doing is fine. I just it's not as cool as me.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that still like puts them pretty high because I don't think a lot of characters love each other.
Yeah, it's
You ever see that
Whiskers and
that
Peach.
Toph video that talks about like the matchup where the two mains hate each other the most, and his theory that he thinks Sheik and Falcon mains hate each other the most out of all the mains together. I think that's pretty interesting.
If he weren't in jacket territory, we might have to have him on and ask him this question. But unfortunately,
Yeah, he is kind of close.
he's getting a little too close to getting this jacket, so I don't think we can have him on anytime soon. Not until we find someone who can make jackets for cheap.
I'll get it one day.
One day.
I'll make it so that you have to put me on. I'll do something so based and cool.
He'll sub at the $9,999 tier.
That's
We'll
right.
We'll have like a live episode at Summit or something. And he'll just
Mhm.
he'll weasel his way in. Just like, even though he's not the official guest, he just makes it so.
Mhm.
We'll see.
Come to your house.
Yeah, that's the long-standing tradition is that we never really bring this up, but if you come to either one of our houses, you are able to be a guest on the show.
That's right.
So fans out there, I'm not going to give you our addresses, but if you're able to find them, welcome to Waiting for Game.
Well, we got the full birthday, so that's step one.
That is,
Oh no!
And here, I'll give you Edwin's IP address. Just it'll be like a puzzle. Try to figure it out from there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's. I think it's about time we move on to a little bit. We were talking about Smash Camp. I think Smash Camp's a really great tournament. But you did make a couple good points, right? It's an amazing tournament for people who go, right? It's an attendee tournament, but it has yet to have like a top 8 or like a set in top 8 that really, really gets everyone going. And I think that kind of is something that is really important when you talk about the best tournaments, right? A good top 8, a good grand finals. These are things that define what people look at as the best tournaments. And of course, it is March. We're nearing the end of March, and we are nearing the end of our March Madness bracket. And what better thing to talk about than the best tournament of all time? We've done best melee moments, best upset, best set, right? We did best set.
Yeah,
I
remember
think
Mewtwo King versus Armada at SmashCon, right?
God, did that win?
What?
No, it didn't win. It didn't win. I think
What?
That was what Edwin put in his book that it was the best.
Oh,
or in the countdown of my book. But then I
that's
think
right.
but I think for the bracket of Mango Armada, Genesis won.
Genesis. Oh, okay. Genesis.
Oh yeah, and I was a little bit of a rebel. I said Mango Zane, Big House 9. Which
My
at this point, yeah.
My answer is Mango left in at Big House, or not Big House.
Genesis 4.
Yeah.
There's
That made
so
it
many
pretty
good
deep.
answers.
Yeah.
Honestly, at this point, I don't think I can say Mango Zane, Big House 9 when Mango Zane Summit exists.
Yeah. I think that's honestly that's probably my pick now.
Yeah, but the sets, the upsets, all the stuff we talk about, the moments, right? We've talked about all these before, but zoom out, and that's the tournament, right? So that's what this year's trying to figure out. We've got to Sweet 16. Today the voting's still open, so anyone who's watching today, voting's still open who decides to get to make it to Elite 8. But we have some tournaments. I mean, we're talking about stuff here. We've got Big House 9 is still in. That's a 2 seed. Smash Summit 11. That's a 1 seed. Just let's go into it before we even talk about the bracket. What makes a tournament great for you guys? Yingling, what do you what's memorable for you?
Oh, I feel like we have such different ways of deciding that because like I feel like a lot of the good tournaments were back in like what I think are good tournaments were back when like are probably like the golden age when the dock first dropped and like my first major. So like things like Genesis 3, and then like things that followed it were like Shine, stuff like that. I mean, it was honestly just seeing like all the people that I knew. Like now going to tournaments, I don't know. I don't really care if like the sets are good to me personally to make them good. I just care that I have a good time and like people that I care about are playing. I mean, I don't know. It's like Genesis 3 was so important to me and still is so important to me just because it was my first major. First time I got out of pools, there was a fucking crazy turn. Like honestly, that top 8 actually is insane to me. I think I cared about every single set that happened in that top 8. Like big, I think the only big house I went to was the one where HBox went just destroyed everybody in grands, and
Nice.
I also I just didn't like the city of Detroit, so
Seven.
yeah, I didn't, I don't know, like the city also affects it for
Absent
me.
from this list.
Yep.
It's for the best, really. I think also Summit is in a weird spot for me as well, just because of the way I got to experience Summit opposed to like many other people. So like that would probably be higher on my list just because of the experience I got to have from that. But yeah, I think just generally what makes tournament good is the city and the people that are there. For me, that's the things I value the most.
Yeah, I think it's, when people look at this stuff, I think people will default to looking at as a spectator because we do kind of a little less now, I think, but like we've pushed for a while as Melee as a spectator sport, right? It's like this big thing. It's like, hey, this is like it's the same thing as League or it's the same thing as whatever we're trying to like delude ourselves into thinking it is. Um, so I think people when they think about this, they'll automatically think of was Grand Finals good, was Top 8 good, was it good to watch? But I think you've got a good little example here where what matters to people themselves, right? Like the people who go, varies when you're talking about stuff like this. I mean, I had an amazing experience at Smash Camp. Um, Obviously, that's not on here, right? Because if you're just watching Smash Camp, you're not about to say it's the best tournament of all time. That was one of my favorite things I've attended. And then I mean, something that's on here that was able to be very entertaining and also very cool was Royal Flush was my first major. Edwin was there. We roomed together. That was super fun. But I mean, Atlantic City, I don't know, not the preferred place. There's like I mentioned earlier, right? Like if you go to a tournament, the venue is probably going to be the thing you're going to spend the most time in. But if you go to some tournaments, the venue will be like further down on the list of like priorities. So I think that's a good point to make that maybe not a lot of people think when they actually look into this. Mikey, what do you look at when you think about best tournaments of all time?
Man, the first thing that pops off the page for me here is that 6 of the 7 Genesis tournaments are on the list. Holy shit.
What's the one that isn't on there?
6, right? Unless I'm missing it somewhere.
Yeah,
Is that the one Plup one?
No, that was
No, that's 5.
HBox.
5.
Oh, okay.
HBox won Genesis 6.
Yeah, I think we've so far so good. We have not had any comments about. I was expecting a certain Swede to talk about why he's like all the tournaments that he won are not on here.
Right.
I think there's really barely any Armada victories. But as an Armada fanboy, I don't know. It's like those are fun, but it's there's like a different element to it. I think Genesis 4 is probably the highest seed thing that he won, which ended up
Genesis 3, right?
Genesis 3. Yeah, duh. Yes, yeah.
And Genesis 2, he won as well.
Oh man, do I
yeah, both 2 seeds.
Do I not know my goat?
Yeah,
my goat?
I think that we managed to underrate Genesis in our community. I would pay just to watch Melee in a theater. Like I think that's a product that's worth it on its own. Plus, all of the stuff that you get from going to a Genesis. Like a lot of times it's been if not a 24-hour venue, I think a venue that's open pretty late, which is always pretty cool. It's always something that you can if you book your hotel soon enough, it's one of the tournaments where you can stay at the hotel and it's attached to the venue itself, which I love, just being able to like get up in my PJs and head down to the venue and play some Melee and shit, right? I think that's fantastic. I think Northern California is a great place. It's going to be good weather no matter the time of year. All that stuff, huge ups in Genesis's, favor. Plus the legacy of it, of course. So like, to me, Genesis 3 was also one of my first majors. I went to Evo 2015 before that. Yeah, Genesis 3, fantastic. Great memories from that. Genesis 4 as well. Both of those top 8s I think are Genesis 4 being a 7 seed is crazy to me. But, it's just, there's stiff competition here, obviously. Apex 2015. Damn. That's the anti-Smash Camp. Just absolutely miserable if you were there, probably. And if you were running it in particular, like if you were one of the people trying to figure out what the fuck's going to happen.
And probably some more good reasons why it does not deserve the love it gets. But
I mean, Apex is dog shit, right? We know this.
Man, I'm still expecting the run here.
Yeah,
I think our fans, our audience, I think probably is going to skew Genesis in some capacity. Genesis 3 or Genesis 1 probably makes most sense. But man, Apex 2015 being there, it's still scary.
It's just like, this was at the peak, I think, of people. So one phenomenon that I don't think we talk about a whole lot is like, if you were getting into Smash because you were like excited for Smash 4 to come out, like you were consuming Smash content, you were on Smash Reddit and shit, and you were seeing all this hype for Smash 4, and alongside that, I think a lot of people got into the community because they were seeing competitive Smash content, and the things that we were talking about were not like competitive Brawl, right? Because that was fucking dead.
Yeah.
You were seeing stuff about competitive Project M and competitive Melee if you were like consuming Smash content at that time. And so Apex comes at this point where it's like at the peak of this hype, like this is the first Nintendo supported tournament. We've had all this build up. Smash 4 is finally out. And PP is going to be there. The 5 gods are all going to be there. Who knows what the fuck Leffen is going to do at this tournament? He just beat Mango at Beast 5 and shit. Or Armada at Beast 5, right? So it's like, holy moly. Like, this is like the clash of the fucking titans here.
That's the first tournament I watched live.
Yeah, me too. Like the first major I'd watched live anyway. I had been to smaller tournaments and shit, but I felt like a kid on fucking Christmas watching that tournament. And I think a lot of people who came into the scene around the time I did feel the same way about it. It was just so, and the chill and dude thing, and the Mango Leffen beef, and PP winning, like it's mythological,
It's the thing that I think every time there's a major, like we want to capture that, right? Just like I remember that was one of the few times where there's favorites, of course, right? Like, every tournament you're going to go in, there's going to be a favorite. But that was one where I remember going to that and not knowing who was going to win, right? I was like, this could be Mango, this could be Armada. Leffen's looking pretty good. I'm not sure if he's going to do it, but he's getting pretty good. And there's always Mewtwo King who's a threat. And then it's like, well, HBox is there, and PPMD, man, he hasn't gone to something in a while, but when he did, he was really good. So it's this whole thing of just like, man, the storylines going into it were amazing. And then you're right, the salty sweet. I think there's a reason why it is something that the people talk about a lot in the community, right? It's kind of like a high water mark in a sense, and also like a really low point in another sense. And I think that like that will be part of its charm for people, whether or not it should be. I think anyone who's got issues with it is pretty right. But yeah, no, I think it's really got some magic to it, doesn't it? Edwin, what do you think?
I think of, when we were coming up with this idea, right, and coming through the lists, what I will say is that it was very funny that me, Wheat, and Ambi all had, more or less maybe one tournament was, 2 or 3 spots higher or lower than everyone else. Our top 10, like, basically had the same tournaments, but, maybe something that was number 8 would be number 5 on another person's list. And like our top 4 seeds that we came for this bracket were like very close to like identical. And like maybe like if something wasn't there as the 4th seed, it was because the 5th seed was there. So, and I think like the reason it's so easy to come up with prime examples of what the top seeds are is because like I mean it's because of something very simple. It's narrative, right? So the stakes going into the tournament, it's like it's the buzz going into it and seeing it like fully resolve in a way that you didn't even like imagine, right? So I think for the first Genesis, like even heading into that tournament before Mango versus Armada ever happened, there was so much buzz over, you know, the fact that there's this European Peach player coming over here, the fact that there's this new generation of Melee players that, you know, they weren't just coming together for one last hurrah, like Pound 3, and they weren't coming together for like a one-off revival of Melee. It was like, this is the new group of people that are going to lead Melee into the future, right? I think with Smash Summit 11, like one of the reasons that's a 1 seed also in addition to the maybe the greatest set ever in grand finals was because you had this marketing campaign of getting Yingling into Summit, something which, you know, I don't think anyone would have predicted before. You had all these other top players through the net play era proving themselves in a format of the game we could have, you know, like years ago we could have only dreamed of getting into Summit, proving themselves. I mean, you had Plup coming out for, you know, someone who wasn't that active through a lot of the pandemic, like turning up and like kind of proving himself by taking a set from Mango. You had Amsa coming and shocking everybody and with how good he looked in pools and everything.
Yeah,
it was just
all of this for $150,000 prize pool. Also.
Yeah, I didn't even mention that. That's a great point you bring up. So I mean, just like when you think of all these tournaments that are a 1 seed or 2 seed in this bracket, it's hard to like explain in words why each of them deserve the spot that they get and why it's so unanimously why so many of them are unanimously placed up there or universally placed up there. But if I had to place something, it's historical stakes going into it and seeing those stakes resolved in a satisfying way. That sets up the foundation for like something historical. Yeah, what's up?
You are completely right. If you look at the 2 seeds here, the 2 seeds are all great tournaments, right? But what separates a 2 seed from a 1 seed to me is the 1 seed, like the community needs it to be good, right?
Yeah.
All of these points, like if any of them fail, Melee's so different, right? Summit 11's probably the one that hinges the least on this, but still, that was our return to LAN. Like that was our entry back after fucking however many months of only playing online. Like we needed this to be able to survive.
18 months or so.
I mean, there was electricity in the air, like, right? Heading into it.
We needed that. Yeah. We needed Genesis, Evo, and then like Apex was about to, you know, collapse, and that part of Apex literally did collapse. But what separates this from something like Big House 9, which I think is amazing, is we needed it to be good, and it ended up being great. And something like Big House 9 gives me a feeling of like when I watched that at the time, I was like, Melee is in a good place, right? I'm like, I cannot wait for what comes.
It was there's so much more Melee to be played tournament, right?
Yeah. And the thing is, all of the 1 seeds, they have that for you know, the ones that I was able to watch live. Of course, I wasn't watching Genesis 1 live, but all the 1 seeds, they have that. And they also, like, they need that, right? Like,
they're turning points for the scene.
Yeah. Big House 9 was amazing, but if the Big House 9 was fine or very good, you know, scene's not doing too differently. But I don't think you can say that for first Genesis or for Evo, right? Like, we need these to be amazing moments, and this stepped up. Like, the reason why we're possibly here, right, possibly able to talk about Smash Summit 11 for $150,000 is because Evo 2013 was able to succeed, right? It's an interesting thing. I'm excited to see what people say, because I think we get to a point in these brackets where, hey, speaking of we're talking about Smash Camp seeding. Speaking of seeding, we tend to be a little too correct, and there's not enough upsets. But you know, going into the Elite Eight, I think is where we're going to see a lot of cool decisions. It's going to be it's gonna be Apex 2015 versus maybe Big House 9, right? It's gonna be these tournaments that people think are some of the greatest of all time putting up against each other,
God,
and
yeah.
I really can't wait to see what people say.
We haven't even mentioned Evo 2016 yet, which is the biggest Melee
Insane.
tournament of all time.
Yeah.
The first one that was in a fucking arena, and
What
it's
and what is
$100,
considered one of the best sets of all time.
it's a
We
fucking
had that pretty
miracle,
high,
right?
Yeah.
So.
The fact that we have not talked about that honestly just speaks to how good the other stuff is, because
Yeah.
that is other games. That's their best tournament far and away, right? If another game has that, that's all they talk about. So yeah, we're in a lucky spot. What let's go around before we move on, because we're kind of nearing the end of the show. Let's what's your guys' pick? Edwin, what, like, if you have a personal pick here, what do you go?
I gotta go Summit 11. There's something about that that's just like, it's just so, it reminded me of like why why even bother getting into Melee like at this time. And like when you see something like Summit 11, it's just like everything about it, like the buzz heading into the event, the dynamics of the actual like tournament bracket itself, and then culminating in just like a like generational grand finals.
We made it up to be a lot because we kind of had to, right? Like, the community
Yeah.
needed this to be a big thing, and because that had it had a lot to live up to, and it was able to exceed that, which I think is something that has all the hallmarks of a great tournament. So I think that's a great pick. Nick, what would you go? And you can look at what we have here if you want to go for a personal pick that's already been eliminated or not even on here. I think that, like, greatest term is something that is up to who the interpreter, right?
I mean, the first thing that come to my mind are honestly just Summit 11, Genesis 3, and then like whatever Arizona tournament has happened. It's crazy to hear someone say Summit 11 can be their favorite tournament, honestly, because I got to experience Summit 11 as a player, and I think it was fucking out of this world, crazy, amazing experience. Wish everybody could ever have it. And to hear other people say that it is their favorite tournament is just like so mind blowing. It's just like,
yeah, you were part of the greatest tournament ever.
I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain it. But I think Genesis 3 is a little more special to me just because it was my first major I ever got to go to, and I got to cheer for my friends, and friends got to watch me play, and it was just like, it felt like actually like the first major all dot kids were at, honestly.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
Dude, I'll never forget Stephen Barron beating Fendrick Lamar by doing Nair spot dodge 3 million times.
Yeah. Shit, just like little shit like that like everybody will always remember, or at least we will. But I think Genesis 3 is probably my favorite tournament of all time, or my best in my opinion of all time. Wait, is Pound 3 the tournament where they went to go fucking move everything and play Grand Finals in a basement?
Yeah.
How is that on this list too?
The Mango Run.
That was the Mango Run.
It's supposed to be Melee's last hurrah.
I guess it's similar to, like, maybe it wasn't the best like ran and the things that everybody had to plan to get there, but it was a cool narrative, like you said.
Yeah. If I had a nickel for every huge major that had to change venues halfway through, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's kind of weird to happen twice.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever happened to an Arizona tournament. Has it, Mikey?
I don't think so. No, we're good.
Mikey, what's your pick?
Genesis 3.
All right. I'm going with MVG Sandstorm.
Hey, just kidding. Oh, you were the guy who turned the power off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I work for Beyond the Summit. I was at Smash Summit 11. I, campaigned for Nicholas Yingling. I should say Summit 11 because it was electric. But I'm going to say, despite the organizers' best efforts, it's Apex fucking 2015.
Damn.
Because I think that it doesn't matter what this, motherfucker does, who runs this tournament, or all of the mistakes that get made. The community came together and literally fucking saved Melee at a moment where it really needed to step up to the fucking plate, and boy did it deliver big league. And maybe that's just me putting the nostalgia goggles on. in my wide-eyed boyish wonder, watching this tournament with a bunch of friends at my parents' house. But holy shit, like it was so important that we like banded together and did that, and all of the melee that happened along with it was also very hype.
I don't want it to ever happen again.
I don't
exactly. I don't want to.
Please.
I don't want to ever have another roof collapse. I don't want to ever have another venue change. I don't want to ever have another major that goes to 3 a.m. But
you know what?
3 a.m. East Coast, right?
That's what Melee's all about.
But,
what Melee's all about, baby. I did a whole fucking thing about this. This is why Melee's the greatest esport in the world. Is because we took something that was imperfect and shitty and not made to exist in its time, and we turned it into something that is beautiful and can sustain things that are like $150,000 prize pools and shit.
What month did Apex happen in? 2015.
January. End of January.
Yeah.
Damn. I definitely
it was
did not
during the
go to
Super
school
Bowl
the next day.
And you're smoking weed to host a tournament.
I was actually I was in Arizona watching Apex 2015 from my hotel room.
Wow.
Yeah, and you're smoking weed if you host another tournament in winter in fucking Secaucus, New Jersey. But god damn it, like you'll drive 2 hours to come to Prescott, Arizona, and it'll be beautiful. So that can have beauty in it as well.
Apex is so funny because I made a tweet that bombed. Kind of, you know what? Actually, I made a tweet that bombed on my personal account. I made a tweet that bombed on the Melee Stats account. It's a little bit rough of a social media month for me, as someone who doesn't kind of, clickety clack on the little bird app that much. But I made a tweet that was talking about how it's actually longer from Apex 2015 to the Apex they just announced, Apex 2022. That's a longer gap between the original Apex and Apex 2015. And it's actually still a longer gap between Apex 2015 and the original Apex 2020 date. Like, they just keep trying to remake the same thing. And it's like, because of this thing, right? It's like, if no one's talking about this because of Apex 2016. No one's doing this, right? It's all because of this one thing, right? It's the reason why we're still trying to run Apex 2022 is because of how good Apex was. And Genesis, what?
Oh, I was continue what you were saying.
Thanks for interrupting. And Genesis 3.
I was gonna ask you your favorite tournament, motherfucker.
I'm getting to
bring it back.
God, you don't think I know that I need to bring it back? Jesus. And Genesis 3. I'm going through everyone else's.
You get lost in your little bits and anecdotes.
Genesis
that's all.
3. Because I'm talking about my tweets. Let's talk about the tweet that I made for Melee Stats that bombed. Didn't even get 100 likes. I had to explain it to Chroma. He didn't know what it meant. Genesis 3 is an amazing tournament because we talk about all this stuff, right? We talk about like how we need the community to succeed in times, and that's Genesis 3, right? Genesis 3 was a year different than it was 1 year later than Apex 2015, but it feels like a different era, right? Apex 2015 feels like the end of an era. Genesis 3 feels like a different era. Yeah, so I think that's an amazing answer. And you know what, Edwin? I think I would have said Smash Summit 11. I really do. Then I remembered Smash World Tour Finals in then I remembered. So I don't know. It's
dude. It feels so dirty.
I still might go Smash Summit 11. So the thing that it is to me, it's the feeling after you watch it, and it's when you're like staying up probably later than you should, and then you just don't know what to do with yourself because it's like, what do I do now, right? Like, I just watched this thing. You feel so full, like filled with energy, filled with hope. Summit 11 did that to me, and the Big House 9 did that to me. And a lot of other tournaments did too, but I don't know. Maybe I don't remember Genesis 3 enough to say that. But for me, it's in between that. Big House 9 is not something that's like huge, right? But the way I felt at the end of it was incredible. And same with Smash Summit 11. You know what, Edwin? I think we'll have to go in together on this one with the birthday dudes. We'll say the same thing. I think Smash Summit 11. It was, despite it being an invitational, that might ruin it for some people compared to an open bracket tournament. What we saw was a new form of Melee, right? We saw people who are only really playing online. We saw Aklo, we saw Logan, we saw all these people who that was their they're like proving grounds, and they all did it. And we saw amazing sets. We saw, you mentioned all these players who come in, and we saw probably what is the greatest set of all time, right? We saw Zayn, this like, you know, he's like the new Armada in the sense of like
No,
everyone just wants him to lose,
no,
like that.
no,
That
not at
was
all.
the in a sense, right?
I'm
A very
so
dominant number one.
I'm so
I
happy to
see.
see Zayn win.
Yeah. Well, I was happy to see Armada win.
That's crazy.
He's my goat. What can I say?
You know what? We just see it differently. That's it. That's all it is. That's all it is.
But yeah, at the end of Smash Summit 11, I felt that Melee could go on forever, and I think that's what I want from a tournament. I want to have the feeling that Melee.
I love your answer. I think you gave such.
We
a
gave the
good,
same exact answer, so you can't say I'm wrong.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong, but I do want to say I wish Ambi was here so that he could talk about Genesis 1 a little
Ambi's
more.
gonna go nuts, yeah, because no one mentioned Genesis 1.
Yeah, I think
His favorite movie.
his favorite, as Ambi would put it, top 8 being his favorite movie ever.
He says just go to the YouTube playlist, get a bowl of popcorn, and it's the best movie of all time.
Yeah, Genesis 1, I mean, like that's literally so many things that we take for granted, like catchphrases that we have in our our lingo or whatever. So much of it originates from Genesis 1. Like,
yeah.
I feel it feels bad picking something ahead of Genesis 1, but like Smash Summit 11 really is like close to my heart, and I think it's hard for me to pick a tournament that I wasn't there for, but that I understand and have many of its like consequences taken for granted in my relationship with Smash. It's hard to compare that to Smash Summit 11, which really feels like something I lived through, right? So
the two people who weren't there said it was Summit.
Yeah, that's very, very funny.
No, I think you could ask a ton of different people. I think that there's not like you can get a ton of right answers, because I just think that that's how the community's been, right? We've been around long enough to have these amazing tournaments, and we're at the point, right? We're at the point. That's why I picked Summit 11, is because we're at the point where I don't think that we're not done, right? We could have this a year later, and there's a possibility that we have another tournament on there as a top seed.
I think we will do some shit that is, like more buttoned up and as impactful as an Apex 2015 at some point.
Dude, who knows? Maybe if we had this in like a year or two, it's the Mogul Majors on here as a number 1 seed.
Yeah,
You never know.
I got you.
It's all up to you, man.
Right, bud.
Speaking of which, we've got some patron questions. That's one of our last things we're going to be doing here because we're wrapping up. But we get some questions for the Patreon, and then every week we say how they give us bad questions. But I've been starting to realize that recently I've been forgetting to ask them to write questions, so this one's starting to get on me. But we do still have some good ones. People were able to throw in some pretty quickly. So I'm going to ask you one, and then I think you've got one, Edwin. So
yeah,
let me go. So we got one from Vlerk from the Netherlands. So he says, in terms of tournament or event experience, what have been things Smash Camp got right that you want to use in future events that you're part of hosting? Speaking of Smash Camp and whatever Ludwig major we have. So yeah, like what aspects of Smash Camp do you want to like use for events that you're going to be hosting?
I guess I'll go first. I feel like, the question of what do people do after they're out of the tournament that you mentioned is a really important one for TOs to consider. And I don't necessarily think this is something I learned at Smash Camp, but it's something that I knew before I was running Smash Camp and really tried to focus on. But I just think like having something for the people. I think concept events like Smash Camp are really cool. You think about Riptide, like the roast of Hugo Gonzalez, shit like that. Summit in a way is this upcoming Summit will be like that also. Just to leak a little bit. Those are some things that I think I really value that are interesting to people. I think that it's really hard in modern Melee to come out and say, hey guys, this tournament is going to be the big one. You should show up to it and have that happen. Like Main Stage did it because it's BTS, which is cheating. I think the only other tournament really to do it was Shine. And that's, I think, due in large part to there not being a really big East Coast major that was happening at the time that Shine kind of popped up. And that region obviously has a shit ton of draw from various places. And Matt.Zeb's behind it, and they obviously do a great job. But I think aside from that, it's really hard to pop up with a new event and have it be successful when it doesn't have this legacy of the kind of tournaments that we're talking about here. So I think that one way to make it happen is to have a concept that people enjoy to tie with it. And that's it.
Nick, do you have any input on that?
Yeah, I think I would agree with pretty much everything Mikey has said. The only thing I would add is like, I don't know if that I learned anything like I think I would say Mikey figured out everything that people could do that like when they weren't in the tournament. Like the only thing I felt like needed to happen was like trying to give everybody like a individual like experience of their own, which is like when I did Nicking experience, I would tweet like, oh, this person signed up, because I wanted to make each individual person like feel like I knew I was reading, like they knew I knew they were going, and I
remember that.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. I always try to think about like making individuals experience a little different from, just so like they're not like another person and they have like somewhat of a story to tell when they go home or something like that. That's always been like my main goal. And when I'm like doing something with like tournaments or whatnot, is just like thinking about how to give everybody their own individual moment or story or something to take back.
Sick. Yeah, no, I think that's great. And we got one more question. Maybe not a patron, but a familiar face. Edwin, you wanna?
Yeah. So this is from Melee Stats member Chroma. No, I guess it's kind of like a two-parter. So to Nick, where do you see Mogul Moves in 2 to 3 years? And to Mikey, where do you see BTS in 2 to 3 years?
I don't know. I mean, this is a hard question for me. I don't know that I know everything that they're thinking of, honestly.
They keep you in the dark.
Oh, honestly, I just am basically Ludwig's assistant. All right, everybody. I find out everything we're gonna do like a week before sometimes. Like I don't know what they're doing. I know that the Ludwig tournament is planned for a future date that has not been even thought about right now. I mean, I hope that it takes some form of helping Smash or whatever it might be. I mean, I think Mogul Moves is going to head into like a content kind of thing. Like, I don't know, like groups like OTK. Like, I hope I personally hope that's what it kind of turns into, because I find that very cool. And that's just, I don't know. I think that Ludwig and Mogul Moves is always going to be like, oh, I really like Smash and we're always going to support it. But as far as like it as a company, it's probably going to end up somewhere else, not 100% into Smash. But
literally the most insane esports signing, getting Nick Allen. Like, I think that people might know of Nick Allen as a name that used to get thrown around every now and then on like the Scar and Toph show, but this is literally like Tom Brady deciding to join Mogul Moves. Like it's actually
I could not believe it.
I did not know who he was until we went to a dinner with him one night and I met him and he was really cool. And then Aiden told me everything I needed to know about what he's done, and I was like, wow, this guy is fucking. This guy has the craziest resume of all fucking time.
It's like the most
insanely
impressive
accomplished
in all of esports, and to going to Mogul Moves, just like I truly don't know what happens next. So that's definitely something cool.
I'm supposed to have a meeting with him sometime this week too.
I know.
Who knows what we'll talk about?
He's gonna big dog you.
He's the third Nick. No, he referred to himself as Nick 3 in the work group chat. So
he might say that now after his meeting. He might move up to Nick 2.
Well, we'll see what happens.
He's gonna make you go by your middle name.
Now. We have agreed that we're only gonna hire Nicks from this point on. So the fourth Nick coming soon.
All right, I've been trying to get Edwin hired in your mailroom.
Yeah, well,
he needs to get out of the house a little bit.
I'm gonna need him to change his name to Nick, and we'll get it done.
Yeah, Anok and Nick.
Nick Budding.
Nick. Okay, so I'm just changing my tag in this case.
That's
No,
right.
then
No,
you
no,
also
no,
change
no,
your
no,
legal
no.
name to Nick
Oh,
Budding.
I gotta explain that to my spouse and the rest of my
Yeah.
family.
I'm sure they'll understand.
Yeah.
It's all for this job of a mailroom. Also, I made this joke to I think it was Aiden. He was like, "So we don't have a mailroom."
No, we don't. It's just
It's
So you
just
have
the
to-
Doritos Locos Tacos Gaming Center.
yeah, that is literally the office. It's great. Edwin, we told me that he thought that you were lying when you told him that we talk this weekend. And I was like, no, we talk. He thought you were
Oh,
lying about that. You didn't
yeah,
show him the
we just
messages?
knows that I'm very like I'm very much a one-on-one person, but I tend to avoid like bigger gatherings. I don't know. It takes a lot for me to like open up to someone, but I like doing it like one-on-one with people. I'm not
See,
I don't
great
know,
in
man.
group
I think I was
formats.
right to not believe you because I was
No,
like, I,
you were unambiguously wrong.
I think I was right.
You got owned. That's what I'm saying.
When I pitched this idea for getting both of you on, he's like, "That's great. I talk to Nick all the time." And I'm like, I don't know if that's true.
I don't know if I said the
I
word
don't
all the
believe this.
time, but it does sound like something I might casually like say in
Mikey,
reference to maybe talking like once every now.
as
and
someone
then,
who I
but-
speak to, I'm going to ask my friend Mikey. Mikey, what about
That's
yourself?
we do actually kind of talk all the time.
We talk
Quite a bit.
Yo, me and Edwin talk way more than you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what you're able to
Next-
divulge, and but
Listen, next time me and Wheat and you two are playing the newlywed game.
yeah, I don't know. I think we got this one.
you have to beat Yingling's score though. One out
Yeah,
of six.
exactly.
All right. Well,
I think we
I'm
might
going to
do
fucking
that.
bed now. So
But yeah, Mikey, what? I mean, obviously, without putting you in a situation where you have to say anything, like where do you see BTS in the next few years?
Yeah, this is so hard because there is some shit that I just cannot talk about.
Dude, that's
All
blame
right,
Chroma.
yeah.
Chroma's like the leakiest question of all time.
Coward.
to ask.
Yeah.
coward.
I guess in the immediate future, like I mentioned, I'm excited for Smash Summit 13. I think we have something that is really going to be interesting and
Oh, yeah,
kind
what
of
is
new
it?
to the series. Do you know? Have I talked? I don't think I've talked to you about this. It's not like NDA
I already
or
heard.
anything.
I already heard.
Yeah, you know. I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be great. I can't talk about it yet. You will know very soon.
I'm gonna say it.
Like
Don't
this
say
week
it. No
soon
leaks.
or next week.
Maybe this week, actually.
Mm.
I'm gonna tweet
Yeah.
it the day before.
Fuck you. I don't know. I think it's hard to say. I think we're gonna keep running main stages. We're gonna keep running summits. We might run stuff that's even bigger than that. Who knows? But I think the kids are gonna be okay in general. I think a lot of this is kind of tied to how the Smash community does in general, and
Yeah.
so I'm optimistic about that. I think that things are going to be good, and so
I believe it.
Yeah.
believe it or not, I'm a BTS believer.
yeah, I'm a fan. And I've been a fan. That's why I fucking work there.
Yeah. There's
Can you leak some
mean,
BTS events happening soon?
No. Like it's they will
Whatever.
happen.
Whatever, man.
I think there's a commonality between what Mogul Moves and BTS does that I think like is really emblematic of the Smash community. I mean, obviously Ludwig came from Smash, but like Mogul Moves still being tied to Smash in a way feels like it's something that doesn't need to happen. And BTS is kind of the opposite thing of not coming from Smash and then being so tied to Smash right now.
Yeah.
And I think like how they operate and how their like connections to the community is still so deep. I think it's both great. And yeah, I mean, was this a good question? Because it asked something that you guys could barely answer. Who knows? We'll have to blame Chroma for that one. But I think that I don't know. I think whatever happens, there's no way of looking at these two entities and then saying in 2 to 3 years they won't just be like doing better, right? What's going on right now is so amazing that I've got complete faith.
And like I just want to say, like in Melee, when you've been around for a while, it's so easy to see like cool things happen from an outside entity or from any big group and just assume that like it's going to happen once, maybe twice, and then it's going to be out the door, right? Like Smash Summit was a really exciting opportunity when it happened in 2015, and it is so crazy to think about 7 years later that this group is
13.
this group is still around, running invitationals,
Yeah.
improving on prior concepts and whatnot, and actually running tournaments as like a full-fledged, esports production company that is a domain leader in Smash. I just think that's wild.
Well, we love talking about
Mhm.
Smash, but there is part of us that is different than Smash, right? We are human beings with multiple interests. So we have, as our last segment of the show, we got a quick thing where we go around and we talk about something that's been going on with us recently that does not involve Smash, as a way of trying to show people what else we are. Of course, it's famously unnamed, but it is known as to fans as Touch and Grass.
That's right.
So I'll start off with the Touch and Grass segment this week, and then we can go around. So this week I did the podcast, and then that was on Tuesday. Then I left for Smash Camp on Thursday, and I got back this morning. So there's not been a lot of time that has not been Smash or travel, but before I left for Smash Camp, what I did was, or before I went to Smash Camp, I went to Culver's for the first time. But you know what? I'm going to use a different thing for my touching grass this week. Culver's was great, but I think I'm going to do the thing that I did almost directly before that, which was while I was on the plane. I watched the Kanye West documentary on Netflix, the 3-part documentary called Genius. I watched that. I know it's been out for a little bit, but I've never seen it. I thought it was really good. And then on the flight back from Smash Camp, I watched another music documentary by Edgar Wright from he did Scott Pilgrim, he did Shaun of the Dead, he does all that. He did Baby Driver. He made a documentary about a band from the 70s called the Sparks Brothers, which I thought was really well done, telling this like pretty I mean, it wasn't a standard story. It was a story of a cool band that was able to innovate and kind of keep creating music for 40 years. But the way that he was able to present the story was incredibly cool. So I will say those two very different music documentaries, but both something that in my travel time related to Smash Camp was just like keeping me incredibly entertained. Edwin, you're the only person here who is not Smash Camp, so maybe you had more time to frolic around. What was going on with you recently?
You actually took some of the words from my mouth. I saw Genius also. I thought it was pretty interesting.
Did you see
it
a
was
lot of
split.
yourself in it?
No, I did not. I don't think I'm like Kanye West at all. But I thought that it was pretty good. I think I think when you watch a documentary like that, the real like value that comes from it is the deep cuts, right? It's seeing
Yeah.
like really like it's seeing old clips of like Pharrell and Kanye talking to each other, like Scarface. I think that the documentary tended to do this like narrative thing where it would play Kanye rapping like a recognizable song or something, or saying a line from it like for 2 minutes in a row or something. And like the point of the narrative purpose of that clip in the movie is to showcase like this line that
Here's
everybody
the
in the
melee
audience,
stats analysis of it.
that everyone in the audience is like, oh, that's him doing slow jams, or that's how he came up with this song. But it's not really like connected to the like really interesting meat of the story, which is kind of this character study, right? So
Sure.
it
It's like
does,
Get Back in a way, right? Where it just kind of presents these things as cool things.
yeah.
But it's more narrative focused than
Mhm.
what I saw with
But
Get Back.
other than that, I've actually been going through like a ton. So my spouse and I are thinking of moving, or are trying to move out of Boston. So we've been looking at houses
Wow.
in like the suburbs and stuff. So that's been super taking up a lot of my time. My dad's 60th birthday is coming up in 2 days, and I have to give a speech at like this big family occasion for it. I know it's my mom. My mom asked me to do it.
It's gonna be related to Melee.
No, it's not going to be related to Melee at all. But I'm going to bring up the number 60 for sure. Sort of like, all right, don't tell my dad. But the idea is that I'm gonna gonna go through all these concepts of like what 60 means across a bunch of different like topics, and then try to connect it and bring it back to my dad at the end, sort of where he's at. And like the general idea is that 60 is like both a measure of magnitude, but also like, you know, a transitional point between different measures of magnitude.
60
right?
miles per hour probably means you're going onto the highway. You're like on the on ramp.
That's true.
Yeah, 60 minutes in an hour, 60 seconds in a minute. 60 home runs in a season is considered a big feat or whatever. I think 60 was the numeric base. Okay, you know what? Whatever. You
60
get
and
the point.
20, 60
What
and
if-
22. That's a
What
great
if you
NBA
just tell us the
record.
whole speech right now?
Just go for it.
It's for patrons only. You'll have to.
Edwin, are the
pay
Suns
$5
getting
a
60
month.
wins this season?
All right, I don't want to hear this right
Of
now.
fucking course we are.
We're gonna
Seems
get
likely,
cheers?
right? What are they like 58 and like
50
14?
It's in Nick Yingling's Twitter name.
57 and
Ah, okay.
14.
Yeah, it seems pretty likely.
58. It's 58.
Oh, is that what my Twitter says?
Yeah.
Damn bummer. Must have just
Of course.
updated it.
Chris Paul's coming back on like Thursday.
Oh, that's hype. We won.
We did it.
That's very cool to hear about your father, Edwin. Maybe we'll have him on the show someday.
My God. I don't even know I don't even know what that would look like.
It'd be great.
Didn't he at your wedding? Didn't he say like, I see why they call it Super Smash Brothers or something?
Yeah,
like
he
that?
said that because my parents had like a table reserved for all the people that I told them was from Smash, and that table was notoriously the rowdiest and loudest table at the reception.
We had
Yeah.
a similar table at Mikey's wedding.
I think every other table was quiet. I don't think it's not us being loud. It's that no one else popped off at how good the speeches were.
Yeah,
Let's-
my little
Anytime
cousin.
someone said they started to cheer.
Oh,
My little cousin recognized Ludwig at my wedding. Took a picture.
I
Call-
remember
call-
hearing
call
about
them short
Called him
wing.
short. Yeah, called him short.
that was
wing.
the faded. That was like a March 2020 wedding, right?
That was
Yes.
right before
Insane.
the Rona.
Well-
The outskirts.
yeah.
But yeah, obviously you two have been doing a lot of stuff this week, so don't feel like you are confined to talk about stuff that's going on this week. Just stuff that's been maybe going on. Like what's Mikey? What's been going on that maybe people don't know about?
This is part of Smash Camp. I had two things. This is part of Smash Camp. I posted in the chat. Go watch the Mustache Experience to rap outfit related piece of media. Before Smash Camp, I unfortunately had to go back to Toronto, Ohio, which is on the outskirts of Pittsburgh, for my grandpap's funeral. Real unfortunate, but I do have a little bit of show and tell because I yoinked his fucking Pirates hat from his house. I'll put it on here.
Holy shit!
So
Oh,
if we could get a fucking Go Buccos in the chat one time for Bill Byer, I'm sure he'd love that.
And also something that you did, not related to Smash, was you created a tier list of like 150 different sports teams.
I did do that, yeah, during top 8 with
I didn't have any input. I just looked at him. My only input was him apologizing to me when he put a Philly team low.
Which one was it? It was the fucking
Flyers. So you,
that's right.
You
Because
killed
I like
the Flyers. They were in.
I like the
they were in
Penguins.
like utter hate.
Yeah. So that's that was fun.
So, yeah, that Pittsburgh. Yeah, seeing the Pittsburgh hat reminds me of you putting the Flyers.
right.
At, like, God, I think you said you like the Yankees more than the Flyers. That's insane.
Jesus.
That's
Christ.
probably not true. If I'm thinking about that again.
I think you downloaded it, so you've got that tier list somewhere, just waiting to share.
I think
so
it's still up on my computer. I should share it. I'll share it.
It'll see the light of day at some point.
Yeah.
Nick, what about yourself? Obviously you got a new job, you got a lot of stuff going on, but anything in particular?
I mean, honestly, only thing that happened to me last week was I went to the Streamer Awards, and then
Nice.
I worked on yard postcards, all just to try to get them done before Smash Camp because I left on Wednesday. So that was.
Are you like writing in their handwriting?
No, that would be
You're
fucked up. That would be not just because I'd be writing for them, but because it would take so long.
You're writing with your left hand and you're pretending to be slime or something.
No, that's on. I actually think their part is the hardest because they write like different things for every single person. So to be creative, so they all get a fourth of however many postcards there, because each person gets one of the yard members. And I think it's so hard for them to have to be creative for people they've never met most of the time. So I actually think their part is much harder than my part of just shipping them all out.
Mm-hmm.
If it makes you feel better, they probably get paid more than you do to do it.
Yeah, no, I know. I've seen
You've seen the ledger. You've cooked the books.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. Just yard postcards and then stream awards. Stream awards were really cool. Mia Malkova made out with her boyfriend for like the whole show, and I thought it was a bit. It wasn't a bit. They just kept going. It was crazy.
That's sick. That could have been slime.
Should have been slime. Fuck Rich Campbell.
No,
Did you guys see the image of when Ludwig was gonna win an award and Slime had the Bush did 9/11 picture up?
Dude.
Did you guys see that?
I did not see that. No.
I did not see it.
No.
Don't tell Ken, but at Shine 2018, there was this lull in the day.
The board?
Yes, where it was between 64 and Smash 4 top 8, and me, Student Slime, we basically did like a podcast for an hour, and we were fucking around with the board, and I wrote Reagan ignored the AIDS crisis on it, and I showed it to Slime, and he was like, "You can't fucking put that on stream," and I'm like, "You pussy, you asshole, let me do it."
Wow, Edwin, to put that in Kanye terms, that's the real George Bush doesn't care about black people moment.
That's true. That's true.
All right, now that we went full circle, I think we can finally wrap up the episode. This was a pretty. I had a really fun time. I think going into this, we kind of knew it was going to be like this, but I'm glad it all worked out. If people enjoyed this and they want to follow you guys, where can they follow you? Nick, do you got any? What you want to plug your socials?
Just my Twitter. I think it's already on the screen, right? It's just Nick Yingling. That's the only place I check really.
And you can also, when you follow him there, you can also see the Suns record, of course.
Yes, sir.
Good way to keep track.
What about you, Mikey? What do you got to plug?
Yeah, I mean, you see my Twitter there, but you should really follow @MustCash on Twitter.
Yes, sir. That's what really matters.
I hope to see another feature someday.
We'll see.
Hopefully at Oregon Press or Oregon Smash Camp.
Yeah,
maybe at Smash Summit 13. Honestly,
imagine, dude, that would be so funny.
I'll pitch it to Ken Chen for you.
Main stage. Think about main stage,
dude. Main stage would be crazy.
I'll talk to Sheridan, get him in the theater at Genesis.
Right before top 8, we got Must Cash playing.
No, I know that. I know that Melee can't be at Evo, but Must Cash.
No IP conflict.
Cringe-vo?
Nintendo didn't say no Must Cash.
I have a call with Rick later this week. I'll bring it up.
Make it happen. No, that's sick. Yeah, so people can follow you there. Of course, you've got we all know about Mogul Moves and BTS Smash, and I doubt that anyone who's listening to this is not like following them in some capacity. But I imagine cool stuff to be going on there.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, if you and if you liked what we did on our part, you can watch these episodes live at twitch.tv/Melee Stats. They go up on YouTube under the Melee Stats archive. If you want to watch our long form content, that's on the Melee Stats YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter, where we're going to post weekly results and links to the Melee March Madness, of course. So you can do that at twitter.com/Melee Stats Pod. You can what else is there, Edwin? Oh, meleestats.co. That's our website. So you can see articles that we write over there, such as Edwin's very own Monday Morning Marth and When's Melee. And if you love everything we do and you just want to support us, you can do so at patreon.com/meleestats. Nick, Mikey, this is an amazing episode. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day right after a week, like a whole weekend worth of work. So I appreciate that a lot. And Edwin, you too.
You were also here, Edwin.
Yeah, in spirit.
Thanks. Thanks
Um,
as always to the Melee Stats cabal
Thank you.
for giving
Of
us.
course. No, thanks for coming on. I appreciate that a lot, and I appreciate everyone who watched. And then we had a fun 2 weeks in a row, but we are moving to be a bi-weekly show, so I don't think you're going to see us next week. But we've got a lot of big events coming up, so we're going to probably be doing a bunch of episodes on that. So we will see you soon enough. Thanks for watching, everyone. Peace.
Peace.
See you guys.
Bye.